three up, and I can already tell who this is.
This is the most male anime fan generic list ever. Not a single romance or slice of life.
Men,
boys.
boys.
in this one.
Welcome back to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm Connor, once again joined by the boys, Joey and
Did
Gans.
you say episode?
Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson.
Episode of Trash Taste.
God, it's one of those days where we all said, yeah, we're ready. And then you started talking and I'm like, wait, oh yeah, I just said, yes, we're recording now. Sorry, it's this is the first recording after the New Year's. My
You
brain.
really look dead, Gans.
Yeah.
I think I look dead too.
This is not going to be coming out just after New Year, so it's going to be a little bit delayed. But this is for the record. I've just time gated this episode.
Gant, you should be excited because we're talking about your favorite thing on the planet.
Genshin Impact.
No,
story.
shut the f up. We're talking about the other thing. What's the
We're
other?
talking about your favorite thing, you mean, Joey?
No, we're talking about anime.
Okay.
It's our monthly or bi-monthly anime episode, and we're going to be doing another 3x3, but we're not just going to be doing a regular 3x3 because we've done that before in the past. Instead, we're going to be judging other people's 3x3s. More specifically, we asked a bunch of our guests, our previous guests on Trash Taste, to send in their anime 3x3s, and we're going to be judging their good or bad taste in anime.
We didn't get everybody's 2x3.
Yes.
Because some of them guests haven't watched anime.
No.
Yep.
And some of
our next three by 3 up, and I can already tell who this is.
This is the most male anime fan generic list ever. Not a single romance or slice of life.
Man.
Boys in this one.
Welcome back to another episode of Trash Taste. I'm Connor, once again joined by the boys. Joey and Gons.
Did you say episode?
Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson.
Episode of Trash Taste.
God, it's one of those days where we all said, yeah, we're ready. And then you started talking and I'm like, wait, oh yeah, I just said, yes, we're recording now. Sorry, it's this is the first recording after the New Year's. My
You
brain
really look dead, Gons.
Yeah.
I think I look dead too.
This is not going to be coming out just after New Year, so it's going to be a little bit delayed, but this is for the record. I've just time gated this episode.
Gant, you should be excited because we're talking about your favorite thing on the planet.
Genshin Impact.
No,
Joey.
shut the up. We're talking about the other thing. What's the
We're
other?
talking about your favorite thing, you mean, Joey?
No. We're talking about anime.
Okay.
It's our monthly or bi-monthly anime episode, and we're going to be doing another 3x3, but we're not just going to be doing a regular 3x3 because we've done that before in the past. Instead, we're going to be judging other people's 3x3s. More specifically, we asked a bunch of our guests, our previous guests on Trash Taste, to send in their anime 3x3s, and we're going to be judging their good or bad tastes in anime.
We didn't get everybody's 2x3.
Yes.
Because some of them guests haven't watched anime.
No.
Yep.
And some that haven't watched enough anime, like Pete and Chris.
Yep.
So the people that we have, or the guests that have submitted their 3x3s are Charlie, Didas, Emily, Kaho, Kevin, Muden, Shindo, Sydney, and I guess Laserbeam is also included.
Okay. This should be interesting. I always like 3x3s because you can normally get a gauge of someone's personality and taste just by seeing like a view of their 3x3.
True.
So I think it'll be a fun game before it's revealed who the 3x3 that we're judging is. That we have a guess of who that person is based on our
Like get a quick personality
yeah
read on it.
get a
You
peek.
sound so tired that you explained it in a way that sounded more confusing than it was. You were like, I'm gonna guess.
We're gonna guess the guest.
The
We're gonna
3x3.
guess the guess.
Basically, we're gonna have a look at the list. We're gonna pop one up, and we're gonna try and have a try and gauge who it might be.
And
That's what I just said, Connor.
I know, but I'm saying it more excited, guys.
you
Exactly.
both explained it like shit.
Word for word. Oh, you explain it then, Joey.
Yeah,
Come
you
on.
explain better than me.
Okay, here's how it's going to work, ladies and gentlemen. Listen carefully, okay? We're going to be shown a 3x3. We don't know who it is. And before we start talking about each individual one, we're going to take a quick look at it and go, hey, that seems like this person's 3x3.
Yeah.
We're going to each have a guess. If we're right, then cool.
And if you get it wrong, you don't know the guests. You're a horrible person.
then we don't know the guess and we've just shamed all of their family.
All right, well, let's pull one up, shall we?
Fuck, that's why he's the anime man.
That is why he's the anime man. All right, so give us our first 3x3. All right.
Okay.
Okay, so
What the fuck is...
we've got... Okay, it's over here now. Okay, so we've got Clannad, or Clannad After Story.
Is that Gundam Seed?
Gundam Seed.
Is that Gundam Seed?
I really hope it's not Gundam Seed. We have Princess Mononoke, we have Ranma Half, we have Orimo. God, did you make this? We have Welcome to the NHK, we have Naruto, potentially Shippuden, we have Hajime no Ippo, and we have Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, this is
Okay.
tough. Who the fuck would make this list? Can you pull up the names
Okay,
again?
okay. There is one big like indicator here, even without looking at the guest names.
Are you able to... Sorry. Are you able to put the...
Absolutely,
3x3 on the background and names?
like
Well, what
absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
This person grew up in the same era as myself.
Yeah.
Because there is no fucking way someone would put Gundam Seed on their list if it wasn't the very first Gundam and maybe the only Gundam that they've watched. You know, that's...
If you've seen any other Gundam, you would not put Seed on here.
That's what I'm saying. And no, like nobody else would put it unless it's like the first Gundam you put on there.
Yeah, wasn't...
shit.
I think Gundam Seed, when it was airing on Cartoon Network or something, I don't
Yeah.
know where it aired, it was like the most popular show on,
Yeah.
on the entire network in,
I
in
yeah.
the West.
I think I actually might know who this is because from the list we've been given, there is only one person I know that would have the balls to put Seed on here and also has openly expressed how much they love Clannad and Orimo.
Gaunt?
No, I think it's Didas.
It would make a lot of sense. He does love...
I'm-
He
Hajime no Ippo.
loves Clannad, he loves Hajime no Ippo, he loves Orimo, and he would put Seed.
He likes Hajime no Ippo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard him talk about Hajime no Ippo before.
And I think he's mentioned Rama Half before.
yeah,
So I reckon this is Didus.
I
does,
see
yeah.
the degeneracy. Like I know a fellow brother when I see one, and
Yeah.
then someone like puts Orimo right slap bang in the center, as I would have done, and I think I did do actually.
See, I can already see it, right? Like Didus is like, he's listing off like the obvious ones that immediately come to his head, like Orimo and like Princess Mononoke, Hajime,
Yeah.
Clannad, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And his attempt to seem cultured is him putting Welcome to the NHK. You know what I mean? He's like, no. It's not all the mainstream stuff I love. I also watch other ones like Welcome to the NHK, but he also forgets Welcome to the NHK and it's mega horny as
Yeah.
well, which is also very Didus.
Is this Didus?
Yes, we know our friend.
Read you like a book.
He does.
Yes.
I don't know anyone in this day and age who still references Naruto as much as him. I don't know
That's
anyone
true.
else who references. He just always says something Naruto.
Yeah, but is that anything like special? I don't know. I feel like a lot of people reference Naruto.
Yeah,
I
but
feel like Naruto references are becoming less common, Garnt.
Yeah,
Like
now
an
that
older
Jujutsu
generation.
Kaisen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm sure this is how I don't know. This is probably some older equivalent involved here.
That's
But-
true.
I feel like he springs up Naruto more than anyone else, or any normal amount. Any
That is true.
allowed amount should be brought up.
That is true.
That is true. One thing that surprises me being on here, I'm really hoping you have seen more Gundams, or this is.
I
I'm
think-
just. I'm just not. I'm
I
not.
don't
I'm
think,
not
I
gonna
don't
let this
think
go.
he's seen more Gundam. Well,
I'm
so,
not gonna-
okay, so I don't know what's so bad about Gundam Seed. Can you explain to me why Gundam Seed is bad and what even it is?
Well, it's a Gundam for one.
Okay, great.
It was just, I don't know, like,
Have you seen any Gundam?
Nope. And there's probably a fair amount of viewers watching who haven't seen any Gundams. So maybe
okay,
we can
so
give a bit of
so,
background.
so when most people bring up what their favorite Gundams are, and I'm talking like the kind of the first half of the Gundam franchise, right? A lot of people bring up like Wing. A lot of people bring up Double Zero is a very common one. Seed, like, I don't know. How do you? I'm trying to figure out the words to describe why Seed is questionable. It's hard.
It's not hard. It's just the writing quality fucking jumped off a cliff, especially in the second season. It's that one Gundam that's got mega popular. I mean, you mentioned Wing and 00. I don't think any of them hold a candle to how popular Seed got back in the day.
Yeah.
And it was one of those Gundams that you look at the entire history of Gundam, right? You look at this entire franchise with how many shows there are, and then it's this one that gains the mega mainstream popularity, and it's just confusing because
Probably right place, right time.
maybe
It's the Sword Online equivalent, you know?
holy shit, that is actually oh my god, that is actually the perfect analogy.
It's the Seed
No,
is Seed is to the Mecha franchise as Sword Art was to the Isekai franchise, where it was just right place at the right time, mega popular, but not the best writing in any stretch of the mean.
Yeah, and you watch Gundam Seed, and that might be your introduction to Gundam, and then you watch any other Gundam, and you're like, oh, this is shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is like, or you watch even like any other mecha show, and you realize how
I don't remember.
What is Gundam Seed out of 10 on a scale if you had to give it a rating?
Like a 5 for me.
I like 5, 6,
It's pretty brutal.
especially after the second season. There's
Yeah.
more coffee. I
Do
need more
we-
coffee.
Do we
Okay.
have a reason why he does he say why he chose the things he chose? Oh, he didn't give any
He
reasons.
didn't give any reasons.
So some of the
Oh,
guests have given reasons as to why.
Yeah,
he did it.
I
I
mean-
do know for a fact that Didus always talks about how much he loves romance and slice of life
yeah,
shows.
yeah.
yeah.
And so I'm assuming that's why Clannad After Story's on here.
Oh, he loves like
I
if
suppose
you
Orimo
wanna
to an
if you wanna
extent.
meet someone who loves Clannad more than I do, it's Didus. Like Didus fucking loves Clannad, which is based.
Yeah.
He also loves Orimo as well, which is not based.
I like Didus is like a fucking brother to me, man. Every time I watch a trashy romance show, I know he's like, I message him and he's
Yeah.
always into the same shit.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
We both fucking love Orimo. He gets the masterpiece that is Domestic Girlfriend as well. He understands that shit.
Well,
But-
Didus just likes car crashes.
Yeah, that's the
Because
thing.
when I talk to Didus about shows, he often one thing that he always makes very apparent is that if he feels like he can predict what's going to happen, he's not interested.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess the reason why he likes Orimo and perhaps maybe Domestic Girlfriend is that there's such car crashes that he doesn't know where it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is true.
And
But that,
okay,
to me, that is an indication of a show that's good. There's an indication of a show that's just trying to subvert expectations.
Sure.
I
And
wouldn't
then,
say,
of course, if you're going to fuck your brother, that's a good way to subvert
I wouldn't say so. Okay, let me defend the fucking trashy romance genre, okay? Because I'm
really
addicted to
stepping
this
up to
shit.
the plate
Okay,
of
actually, do you know
glory,
what? Do you know what I did in the Christmas holiday? I don't know if you would be, if you know what this is, Joe. I watched White Album 2.
You watch White Album 2?
the first
I
time.
fucking know it.
Okay.
My question is, you could have watched anything else.
Because
And you watched White Album 2?
because it was the one fucking car crash romance that I just did not watch.
What the fuck is White Album 2?
Imagine School Days, but without
Mid-2000s.
Imagine School Days, but without the murdering. And
Oh.
it's about that.
Yeah.
It's. I actually think it's on the same level of School Days in terms of like the pure fucking shitty reaction and the car crash of an ending that you got. There's like, look at this. This screams like mid 2000s trashy romance.
It was originally an Eroge, I think, or at least a visual novel.
Probably an
from-
Eroge.
Probably an Eroge from the
Yeah.
mid 2000s. Got mega popular in the Dojin world.
Yeah.
And then when the anime came out, I watched it when it came out, and I'd forgotten about it until you brought it up.
That
And
ending.
I'm really glad. I'm really hoping you didn't bring it up.
This was an ending where they set up like a love triangle. I fucking love this shit. They set up a love triangle, and then the author just sets everything on fire, and I fucking love that shit, man.
You just described a mid 2000s
Sounds stressful.
Huh?
Sounds stressful.
I mean, okay, maybe it's because I'm in a happy relationship that this is like to feel something anymore. I need this kind of romance. I need this kind of story in my life, man. Because like my real life, I'm like,
It's
okay,
too solid, your real life. You need some fucking.
I need
to
some
rock the
spice.
boat,
I need some
but
spice up in
only
there, man.
The imagination.
John's gonna get to the point where the only thing that'll like get his socks rocking is just playing the most egregious Erogates out there from the mid 2000s, because all of them are like that.
No, but I've always liked car crash kind of romances just because it gives you an emotional response. Like you are, like it's kind of like drama YouTube, except no one's getting hurt. It's like no one's actually doing something outrageous. It's all in a place of fantasy and
Sure,
fiction.
that makes sense. But again, over the Christmas holidays, you could have watched literally anything.
Bro, I had a
else.
great time, man. I got fucking plastered and I watched White Album with Sydney and we fucking shouted at the screen
Oh my god!
for what all the characters were doing, and it was a great fucking time.
This is the weeb equivalent to watching sports, bro.
No, this is the
Essentially.
weeb equivalent to watching 90 Day Fiance and being like, yo, they did what? No.
She said what?
Yo, she slept with him? Wait, this bitch came back and she thinks that she can take over again? Ain't no way.
Oh
No,
my
it's a
God.
great time.
Sounds like horrible time.
One that I am
So
kind of.
how is this that you were defending Orimo?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Orimo is just that. The ending to Orimo is just one of like seeing the reaction to the internet to the ending of Orimo was one of the most funnest weekends I've had in my life. Just seeing the internet melt down.
That was me with School Days, bro. That was me with School Days.
Wait,
Just
what?
Yeah, well, seeing the ending to School Days and then just Japanese internet just being like, "What the fuck did I just fucking watch?"
See, with School Days, I guess I was like on forums and on social media less.
I was
don't know
on,
what-
I was on 2chan, bro.
Oh, you're on
It was-
2chan?
2chan caught on flames that day.
What was the reaction like to that?
Dude, everyone was like, "Wait, so was this like an April Fool's joke? Like,
Yeah.
did this actually? Is this the actual? Like, no, that they're setting up for a final episode, right? And
Yeah.
No, it wasn't, and people got mad as fuck. But
Yeah.
but it was really weird. It was so egregious that half the internet, with a stable mind, was like, "This is the worst fucking ending I've ever seen," and then the other half of 2chan was like, "That was an absolute masterpiece."
I have a question about Orimo.
Yes.
I actually don't know what the fuck Orimo is about. All I know is that there's incest. And that's only from you.
Wait, have you never seen it?
No, because it has incest. I don't want to watch that.
Well, I mean, it's not the whole way through. Just a little bit.
It's literally okay. Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you. And,
Oh, it's just a little bit of incest.
Just a little bit.
all right, let me explain to you why the internet fucking broke down.
Yes,
in
explain
Orimo.
to me.
Because people don't fucking believe me when I say this, but it was a show that debated all of us. It like pulled like a reverse Uno card because Orimo in season 1 came out and it was a show called My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute, right?
Yeah.
And then everyone was memeing on it because haha, it's a fucking show called fucking My Little Sister Can't Be This Cute, obvious incest bait. And then you actually watch season 1 and then people were like, wait, they're actually like acting like real brother and sister, like actual siblings, and it turns out to be a pretty interesting look on otaku and like Akihabara culture in Japan.
Okay.
Because this came out before there was this huge wave of, hey, this is like weeb culture.
Yeah.
This is a look into Akihabara
2000
culture.
when was it? 8, 9,
Something like that, something
Yeah.
around that time. And so it was a genuinely interesting and good show that people hadn't seen before, with what at the time
2010.
felt like a more realistic depiction of a brother and sister in anime. And then season 2 came out, and that it kind of went, it turned into this kind of slice of life look into otaku culture, into more of like a typical harem, best girl kind of like show,
Okay.
where every girl around him falls for the main character.
Okay.
And then,
Kuroneko got robbed, bro.
yeah, exactly. And then they released the last 3 episodes as an OVA, where, spoiler, he chose his sister after the first season,
Do
where
they
everyone's like, no, this ain't an incest
Do
show.
they like kiss or something or
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's only the beginning.
what?
They got married. That was the like end
What?
of the show.
Yeah.
They got like fake married. And then they broke up because they were
yeah.
brother and sister.
Because it was illegal.
Yeah, and it was just seeing the internet fucking go into flames because of the author just being like, haha, this isn't actually an incest show, just joking, actually it was incest the entire time, you guys fell for my reverse bait. It was just, everyone broke down.
The author is such a goddamn troll because then
He is.
because then afterwards he was just like, I'm gonna have to go in and made Eromanga Sensei.
Yeah,
which
the-
is just round 2.
Yeah, the big difference between Orimo and Eromanga Sensei is Eromanga Sensei just didn't even pretend. And for that, like,
From episode 1, it was just like
genuinely,
yeah.
there was a time when I thought Orimo, for like season 1, genuinely, I think it's a good show. Eromanga Sensei, that was always in the trash,
Yeah.
man. That was always
to give Orimo the benefit of the doubt, it did, as Garn said, have a lot of interesting aspects to it that was actually created a compelling story even for a harem anime.
yeah,
But my problem with it is that it didn't follow through with that
yeah,
till
exactly.
the end, and the author was just like, nah, I'm gonna make some DJ
So
shit instead.
What
Yeah.
about this? Do you think maybe was so compelling to Didus? Because obviously, Gone, this is a big show favorite of yours. What about it? Do you think it'd be so compelling to be in the top 9?
To me, Orimo was the first show that I would say turned me into a weeb. I would say
Yeah.
before Orimo. Okay, here's
It
what
was
I'm.
Harry.
For what reason, Gone? For what reason?
Okay, here's the difference. Before Orimo, right? I went through this kind of like pretentious critic. I have good taste, kind of like you know,
Yeah.
everyone goes to that phase where they're like, oh, I went through the Mao top 100. That's my taste. I like Legends of the Galactic Heroes. I like all of the classics.
You just described me in
Yeah.
2023.
and then Orimo. And then I watch Orimo, and I'm like, huh. The first I went into this ready to shit on it, and the first season I was like, wait a minute, this is enjoyable, but this goes against everything that I thought I enjoyed. And I think because at the time this was a very kind of like original take on it, or a very new take on it, I think that was the first kind of like show for a lot of people in my generation. When it was
and I think people still gravitate to it even now because even though it came out in 2010, there have been so many Orimo clones that have come out since then that have tried
Yeah.
to like replicate that feeling of the show
yeah.
to not that much success
Yeah,
because people just see right through it.
In this day and age, Orimo doesn't stand out as much anymore because there's like a million different shows that revolve around.
But it does stand out in a sense because I would say out of all of the Orimo clones and all the shows that kind of bit off Orimo, Orimo still does Orimo best, if that
Okay.
makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
because there was a point where it was genuinely, I think, a good show.
Yeah.
And then every show copied the second half of the Yorimo
Yeah.
show.
Welcome to the NHK. I hear a lot of people talk very positively about this. One of the shows that's been on my I swear I'm going to watch this at some point,
That's a
and I never have.
fantastic show.
That is the anti-Orimo, if
Mega,
anything.
mega depressing.
Yeah, it also deals with otaku culture, except the fucking depressing side of
Well, yeah,
shit.
from my understanding, it just seems about like a guy who's struggling with how to
That's mine.
be normal.
Yeah, it's kind of Welcome to the NHK. I think is one of the best anime that
Joey didn't want one.
tackles. Yeah, I didn't want one. Welcome to the NHK is one of the best shows, in my opinion, that tackles the idea of loneliness in Japan.
Okay.
Because as
So you're talking, so there's definitely going to be on camera of God spilling or something.
right. But yeah, so as Gant said, if the ideal weeb world is the main character of Orimo,
Yeah.
then the total opposite of that is the main character of Welcome to the NHK.
Yeah.
Where him being ostracized and him feeling lonely as a result of being an otaku and struggling to connect to people through his hobbies and his interests is the entire philosophy of Welcome to the NHK.
It's like a bit more of a real take as opposed
Very,
to the
very real.
Orimo.
This is
I'll
just
fuck my sister take.
yeah.
this is just if BoJack Horseman was a weeb. That is Welcome to the NHK.
That's okay. You
Kinda.
sold me. Okay, you've sold me.
It deals with exactly
Is it
the
as
same
depressing
thing.
as BoJack?
It's fucking depressing.
It's pretty depressing.
BoJack
yeah.
is pretty depressing.
because it's, I mean, you know about hikikomoris, right? This is
Yeah.
the main character is a hikikomori, and the entire show is him struggling to fucking not become a hikikomori and actually become a member of society.
Mm.
And
That
it's
sounds like a great show.
fucking hard. He just
It's brutal.
like this came out before kind of like the whole mental health awareness was more of a thing now in this day and age, and it's so weird to see this coming out back in the day before that conversation was really
Yeah.
as prevalent as it is now.
Yeah, it's very poignant even now.
Yeah, and it still hits just as hard. And
It's just so funny just hearing the dichotomy between Orimo and this. You're like, yeah, he fucks his sister.
Well, I feel-
They
yeah.
get married. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. And you're like, so he's just trying to be a normal human being. Like, damn, that's tough.
Yeah, I can
We're
really
like-
see.
We're like, it's like, fuck your sister, easy pill to swallow. Functioning a member of society. Fuck, that's tough, dude.
real
That's
shit.
tough.
Real shit.
It's like, why are we at the world where these two shows are described in this way?
Didus was really double dipping into the otaku world, at both ends of the spectrum of the weeb world with
Yeah.
these two shows. I am surprised with Yu Yu Hakusho though. I've never heard him talk about Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, I've never heard him talk about it either.
Yeah,
I have
if I
not.
knew, I would fucking geek out about Yu Yu Hakusho with him. But
yeah,
Solid choice, presumably.
very solid choice.
it's
fantastic.
literally shonen
One-
and weeb.
one of the
and-
best 90s shonen shows in my opinion.
Yeah, I think the most important thing is that he also has Ranma on here as well.
Also good.
So he's just, dipping in all generations.
He's got good taste.
Yeah.
Good taste.
Except for Gundam
Except
Seed.
for Seed. I don't
Except
know
for
why.
Seed.
What about Naruto?
I mean, Naruto's just Naruto, isn't it?
It's probably just shonen number one that you first followed, I imagine. It's like whichever shonen you follow first for the longest time.
See, I don't know. Well, I'm looking at
Has a
this
big
and I'm
impact on
like,
me.
was the first anime he ever watched Seed or was it Naruto?
I don't think, does the first matter that much?
It does, because it kind of sets up.
I watched Naruto first, and I wouldn't put it as, it's
and
not.
now you like Orimo, so. go
Well, I mean,
figure.
there's a nostalgia sells, Gone,
Yeah.
and for a reason. People
Yeah.
tend to be very, even if it might not be their favorite, they tend to have a subconscious kind of tie to the first real long show they watch.
Right.
Because Princess Mononoke was definitely his first anime film. Guaranteed.
Princess
Or- or
Mononoke
should-
was
or
my first anime
Which is
film.
like a gritty film. It's like a.
I mean, it's one of my favorite Ghibli
Yeah.
films.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite as well.
Still haven't watched it.
What?
No, still
You've
haven't
never
watched
seen
it.
Mononoke?
No.
I think you would enjoy it, actually.
You would really like it.
Really?
It's
actually
more,
adult.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's more adult than something like Spirited Away. Spirited Away is a bit more.
Isn't it as trippy? Because Spirited Away is just fucking weird a lot of the time.
Mononoke is trippy.
It's pretty
Oh.
trippy. Yeah, it's pretty trippy.
Trippy as shit. It's fantastic.
Like,
Yeah.
'cause that's like those kind of films. It's like leaning forward. You have to watch because you're like, oh shit, okay, let me.
Oh yeah, Mononoke in some scenes is just like, oh fuck, okay,
Fair
they
enough.
went there.
Yeah.
And then of course Hajime no Ippo, considered as
mean,
one of the Best sports anime of all time.
Oh, absolutely. It is amazing show.
One day I will watch it,
Yeah.
but it is long.
It is long.
It's just long.
You have not watched Hajime no Ippo?
No, it's long. If I have, I've lied. I've said that I've watched it. I've lied.
You would love it, actually.
Yeah.
Anytime single time I see a clip from the show, it looks so goddamn cool.
It's
It's-
Seems
awesome.
fun.
Some of the most, I think Hajime no Ippo is some of the most hype you could get in anime, just period.
Mm.
Like, when I think about the hype anime, what comes up at the top? It's something like Gurren Lagann, I think, is the ceiling
Mm.
of how hype a certain show can be.
Mm.
Hajime no Ippo is like a very, very close second there for me in terms of how hype
Yeah,
I felt watching a
agree with
scene or just watching a piece of fiction. I've never had the adrenaline rush of some of the scenes that have happened in Hajime no Ippo.
Have you seen Yu Yu Hakusho?
I've seen one episode.
One episode.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this on a podcast,
Right.
where I tried watching it,
Yeah.
and I wasn't in the right frame of mind.
It also starts off slow as well.
It's so slow.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
episode, it's like, okay, he
Because,
dies.
because Togashi didn't know which direction he wanted to take
Yeah.
the story. So it actually started off as like kind of like a slice of life show.
Yeah.
Until Togashi was like, all right, I'm going to pull a Dragon Ball route and just do an action show.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but that was Didas's list, which I
solid.
think accurately represents everything I know about him.
Yeah, this is very
Yeah.
Didus.
So I'm not going to call him out for lying.
Yeah.
So that definitely screamed
Good
his
job.
name.
Good job,
Alright, who's
Didus.
Good job, Didus. Who is next? All right.
This episode is sponsored by Vessi. Listen, if you've ever seen a picture of me or the other boys, you know damn well that we're always wearing Vessis every single time. Why? Well, let me tell you why. Because they're extremely waterproof, they're lightweight comfort, they're easy on and off, and they're four-way stretch, so even fat feet like mine.
Okay.
All right, here's the next one.
Jesus fucking
Princess
Christ.
Mononoke's on here
I
again.
immediately know who this is.
You do?
Yeah. I immediately know who this
Ain't
is.
no way School Days is on here.
I
Ain't
immediately
no
know.
way.
I immediately know. I saw Arjuna. I saw School Days. I saw Made in Abyss.
Okay, don't tell me. I don't know actually. What's the bottom right one?
That's the
That's
Shinkai film. That's,
Voice of
Voices
the
of
Distant Stars or something like that.
Yeah, it's the first Shinkai Makoto short film.
One of these is not like the other.
I know. I know.
Why
who
is
did this.
Pokemon there?
Because the Lugia movie's fucking
The
awesome.
Lugia movie does slap, but not as good as the Mewtwo one, dude. Come on.
I mean, the first one, yeah.
Yeah, the Mewtwo
Yeah.
one goes hard.
Yeah, first movie is definitely the best one. But
Is this Shindo L? I can't tell.
no,
Kevin?
I think this is Kevin.
it's Kevin.
It's
Oh,
Kevin.
okay.
I look at this. Everything aside from fucking School Days
has
I try-
amazing
uh,
music.
has amazing.
I just wasn't sure if Kevin would put his own show on there. But
Is
I
this
mean, it is a
Kevin?
good
Is this
show.
Kevin?
This is
Thinking?
Kevin, right? Yeah.
Ah, of
Okay.
course.
Because literally every show other than School Days is considered to have some of the best soundtracks in all of anime.
yeah, it's definitely much. It's very much. Hey, this is a
Lugia?
composer's.
Dude, the Lugia movie, the soundtrack is fucking insane.
I don't remember that.
It's actually really good.
Was this the Japanese version? Because in the English version, I can't remember. Sometimes they would redo songs in English releases.
Well, they did
I
that for the
thought
Digimon movie,
The
right?
soundtrack probably
Yeah.
didn't redo though, right? The
Huh?
soundtrack probably didn't.
Oh no, in the Digimon movie.
Digimon movie,
uh,
the soundtrack's completely
what?
different.
Yeah, they All Stars. All Star is a track in the Digimon movie.
Why?
They put like bowling for soup.
Yeah, so it's like less than Jake as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah.
That's
It's actually sick.
that's officially in the Digimon movie.
It is
That
it is
ki- that
the
kinda goes
most
hard.
it is the most late 90s early 2000s soundtrack you'll ever hear.
I'm gonna say it. I think they made an improvement.
I think it's better.
I
I think the English soundtrack for the Digimon movie is better than the original.
yeah.
When that bowling for soup track comes on, bro.
There must be some like sometimes you used to watch a movie and you're like trying to pirate a movie as a kid, and then
Yeah.
like the Korean version comes up, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I imagine maybe there's a Japanese kid somewhere trying to watch Digimon.
Yeah.
And then he pulled up like the English version. Starts hearing All Stars. Like, nani kore?
Banger this
Holy
next.
shit! They had bare naked ladies as
They're
well.
bare naked ladies. Dude, that soundtrack is goated.
It's
Um,
such a good soundtrack.
Okay,
and
look. Let's break this down, all right? Obviously, Kevin's gonna put in Made in Abyss because he made the fucking soundtrack for it.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
this
then
is-
it could have been a 3x3 of his entire Kevin's greatest hits, but it's not. So
Well, I think knowing Kevin,
I think Kevin has favorites.
he has favorites for
yeah.
sure. Like Made in Abyss is probably his. I mean, it is his favorite, obviously, because it's on here.
But also, Kevin just giving himself the gold medal. Okay,
like, I did-
all
I
right,
did
you,
good.
you deserve it, Kevin.
Akira has an amazing soundtrack. Mononoke, Arjuna also has an amazing soundtrack.
What the fuck is Arjuna?
So Arjuna was it was a when was it? Early 90s, I think, late 80s, something like that. Was it a what's his name, Anno Hideaki show? I'm trying to remember.
What?
No. Arjuna anime. 2001.
Oh wow.
Oh, it was actually way afterwards.
That's the series, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a series.
No one's
Yeah.
have a movie, perhaps.
Is it a movie?
No, I
or-
think it's a series.
Well, the
I'm
one
pretty sure.
oh really?
Yeah, it's the director's cut. Yeah, Chikyu Shoujo Arjuna. Is it Anno?
The 2001. What is that ad?
2001.
What is that fucking ad?
What is
Yo,
that
scroll
ad?
down,
Yo.
scroll down for a second. No, it's not. Okay, anyway, I haven't seen all of it. I've seen clips from it, but
So
it
what
was
was the show about?
Well, let's look at the mail
Yep.
because I actually don't remember. Juna Ariyoshi is an ordinary Japanese schoolgirl. Connor's like, I sleep.
Yeah.
Who possesses a childlike curiosity and a strong admiration towards nature. One day, while on a trip with her boyfriend, Juna dies from a motorcycle accident. However, she is given a chance to live by an individual named Chris Hawken. Well, very English name all of a sudden. He offers her powers that makes her the avatar of time. In exchange, she must fight to protect the Earth from evil forces. So, okay, so it's like a early 2000s like sci-fi.
Yeah.
But I do know for a fact though that I have when I've talked to Kevin about like anime music, he does bring up Arjuna a lot, and he says that this series is the reason why he started making music and why he wanted to make music for anime.
Well, I hope it is because it's scored as 6.78 on my anime.
Yeah,
So-
so you gotta have a good reason for liking that.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
but he according to Kevin, he's like Arjuna has one of the best soundtracks that he's ever heard.
Oh, shit.
In all of anime.
Yeah, because I know, I think what immediately gave this away for me, just immediately seeing this, is number one, a lot of these are films, and films normally have, you know, a more, especially if you're a composer, you know, you're allowed to have, I guess, sometimes it's more impactful to be able to score like music for certain, like for like a feature film, whereas for a certain like anime series, you know, you kind of just have to make certain tracks, not knowing what final scene they're going to be used in.
Yeah.
And that just means a lot of film scores end up being very, very memorable and very, very impactful. I have talked to him about Terror in Resonance, Zankyou no Terror as well.
Oh, what an amazing
And
soundtrack.
that is his favorite soundtrack of all time in terms of anime, and it is mine as well.
It's one of my favorites
Actually, to be fair, it does say something because I actually don't remember much about the show, but I do remember that the songs are always very compelling.
as well. It was the Icelandic infused music. Yeah.
Do like the terrorism though. That was fun too.
Nothing matches terrorism more than Icelandic music.
Yeah.
Do you know? I don't know if we need to cut this, but do you know something interesting about Terror in Resonance?
What?
So the show is obviously about a group of terrorists, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so when this was airing, I can't remember if it was their 9th or 11th episode got delayed.
I do remember this happening. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what date it aired on?
9/11. Yes. Oh my god.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was. I'm like when
Is
I
that
have.
why it got delayed, or they pushed it back to like?
I can't remember. I just remember
Like,
it
hold on,
happening.
guys. Hold on.
Hold on, you know what would be really funny?
We had such a funny moment.
Someone in the boardroom was just like, "We can make something really,
We can send a message with this.
we can make something really funny happen right now."
Jesus.
But no. But to me, I still think that I still really, really fucking like Zankyou no Terror.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Was it? Yeah, I remember when it came out, everyone was talking about it. And it
Yeah.
was really, I mean, it just kind of disappeared after that year.
I think a lot of people were not happy with the plot and the characters, but I don't know, something about the feeling that show gives is there has been very, very few shows, and a lot of this is to do with the soundtrack, but a lot of this just a lot of individual scenes as well.
I don't fully remember what the plot was, but I know that they were terrorists and they had a solid reason.
In hopes so.
That's it. That's all I remember. But I also distinctly remember being like, okay, we did terrorism and now it's over. And now the show's over. It's like, okay, cool.
Guys, terrorism is over.
Guys, it's like, I remember watching it feeling like it should have been longer.
It was, what, 12 episodes, right?
Yeah, it was 12 episodes.
Because, nowadays we're starting to get some 24s popping up and even longer. But
Yeah.
that was, I think when this came out, there was only 12 episode animes coming out.
Does Kevin
One
have any
Piece.
reasons for why he put these on, or no?
I mean,
I guess it's
I
self-explanatory.
can pretty much guess which with
No,
most
I
of
just want to
these.
know why he put School Days on there because I'd love to shake his hand.
Just
Because let's just say
I bet he was
Kevin
probably-
didn't
he
put
was-
it. Kevin didn't put it on there for the fucking soundtrack.
He
Let me
was,
just tell
probably,
you that.
he was probably grinning, going like, I could do a cheeky move here. Put School Days on my list. That's my Kevin.
Is that your Kevin
That's my
impression?
Kevin. Do a cheeky move.
on my wrist. Sounds like a Brexit geezer.
Go get it.
I just
Wake up, School Days. Watch it.
Kevin, you realize now that you are one of the most
Self-reporting.
actual respected, staff members in the anime industry right now, especially in composers, fan and industry alike. What the fuck is School Days doing on here, Kevin? What is it doing on here?
I mean, my respect went up for him. Well deserved, I would say.
I don't want to hear.
If I didn't already love you, I love you even more now.
I don't want to be listening to fucking Made in Abyss having the existential crisis of my life.
He
and
definitely did this for me.
And then in the back of my mind, I'm like, School Days played a part in making this,
You're
School Days.
talking like anime creators have the most well-adjusted views on most things. God, come on.
I mean, what I am also surprised about is him putting the voice of the distant star.
Yeah, what the fuck, Kevin? That's
Because
What is this thing?
So this
Makoto
was
Shinkai.
This is Shinkai Makoto's first directorial debut. It was it was a short film. I think it was like 20, 30 minutes or something. Kind of mecha, but also including a lot of like the Shinkai-isms of lots of emotional scenes and stuff like that. It does have a good soundtrack, to be fair.
does it? I don't remember.
I
it at
remember
all.
I remember the soundtrack being pretty good, but the problem is that I barely remember the plot because
Because it was shit.
it was not very good.
Because Makoto Shinkai didn't learn how to do plots until Your Name.
Yeah.
Is he the director who keeps making the same movie? Or
Yeah.
is that okay?
Weathering
okay.
with You, 5 centimeters per second.
Okay, well, I mean that's a very generalization what I said, but that's
Yeah.
it
It's
generally
the same
makes
movie.
it generally makes very similar things.
Yeah, no, because I remember.
You're not going to believe it. His next film is a romance.
Okay. Well, okay.
Well-
I can figure that one out.
Well, he does like different variations, but I remember before Your Name.
Different variations.
That's almost more insulting. I think you're saying, yeah, just
He does the same thing. He changes it up sometimes.
His new. I actually watched his newest film over Christmas, and it was like
Oh, the Suzume.
Suzume.
Yeah.
That was kind of felt like Shinkai was like, I'm gonna try making a Ghibli film.
Right.
Oh.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And then there was romance in there. And, that was the part that actually was the
Well,
weirdest
no,
part.
because
of it.
before he did Mirai, which was another one that.
No,
one
that's
fu-
the other director.
Oh, that's
Mamoru
Hosoda.
Hosoda.
Sorry,
yeah.
my
But
bad.
before that, he did what's the other Radwimps fucking thing?
Weathering with You.
Weathering with You. Yeah.
I liked Weathering with You.
Yeah, a lot of people like that movie.
I preferred it over Your Name.
I haven't.
I did not.
Yeah, but
Um,
you have a boner for Your Name. So
I just think that here's the thing about Shinkai, because I am a big fan of Shinkai, and I'm very familiar with, I've watched everything that he's put out. Something that was always strong in his works pre Your Name was that he always had I could always tell the idea and the emotions and the feeling that he wanted to put across in his films.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was always something that really resonated with me no matter what Shinkai did, including Voice of a Distant Star as well. And the thing that I always thought he was missing was he would always have this idea or emotion that would resonate with me, but the plot would always be fucking boring. It would always.
Yeah. In my opinion, it was more like because my favorite Shinkai film is 5 centimeters per second, but not because I think it has like a really good plot. It's more so the fact that as you said, like Shinkai's movies a lot of the times were not like a singular story that was being told. It was kind of just like a collection of emotions, just like kind of stitched together.
Yeah, I mean,
you know?
5 centimeters per second. I think it's a beautiful idea for a story.
But there's no story.
But what's the story?
There's no story.
what is the compelling plot line of
Yeah.
that? And
Why is it called 5 centimeters per second?
because that's
It's
how
it's
fast it felt the story was
No.
going.
No, it's called 5 centimeters per second because that's the speed at which a cherry blossom petal falls. That's legitimately why it's called 5
Okay.
centimeters per second, because the cherry blossom falling motif is
Yeah.
used a lot in that movie.
Yeah, but I feel like he discovered he discovered something with Your Name, where he took some of these ideas and emotions and he weaved it into what I thought was a pretty compelling plot line.
Mm.
And I thought that was the only piece of the puzzle he was missing.
Sure.
And then he found that with Your Name, and then he was like, I don't know how to do something else other than some kind of like the same kind of ideas as that. So like one thing I respect about Suzume is that he tried something new. It's definitely different from Weathering with You.
That's good.
I would have liked more if it actually did not have any romance in it. Funnily enough.
You're asking Shinkai to not do
Yeah,
romance.
yeah. I thought that was the least interesting part of that plot.
It's like asking light novel authors to not do incest. It's not going to happen.
well, funnily enough, I also thought the romance part. You guys have seen Your Name, right?
Yeah.
No.
I also thought
What?
No,
You never seen Your Name?
no. I've had this struggle honestly with watching anything romance related in anime.
Yeah.
And I don't have this problem with normal like Western media.
Right.
I just find I don't know what it is about
So the
Japanese
Japanese interpretation.
Japanese
of it.
interpretation of romance stories that I
Mm.
just don't connect with.
Really?
A lot of them I just
Oh,
don't care about.
I'm completely the opposite.
Yeah,
I
same.
see
Uh-huh.
I see a Western romance story and I'm like, it's
Yeah.
just like
Except the
that-
Notebook. Notebook is banger. It is. That's my favorite.
It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Unironically, it is my favorite Western romance film. Like all these women fucking cry about like, oh, Titanic is the most fucking blah blah blah. I'm like, no, it's just
Well,
a
that-
fucking ship sinking.
Well,
Who cares?
that kind of romance I don't really fucking care about much
No.
either. That's
Notebook was actually-
that's like
No-
that's very like angelical Christian interpretation of romance. that-
Yeah.
I don't
Everything
know
is love at
if
first
this
sight.
is a hot take, but the Notebook gave me the feeling of a Japanese interpreted romance story.
How so? Okay,
Because
okay.
in the sense that it's like if the Notebook ever got an anime adaptation, I could totally see Shinkai doing it because it gives that same feeling of like the Notebook having this like it has unlike a lot of Shinkai films, it does have this coherent story, but there's so many different emotional points that feel very Shinkai. In the way that like how the characters change and develop and stuff like that. I mean, like for one, it's just a really solidly written story in my opinion. I think the only reason why it's had this stigma is because it's the fucking relationship tester movie that everyone
Yeah.
talks about, right? But when I actually finally sat down and watched it with Aki, I was like, wow, that was actually a fucking beautiful movie. I cried in the Notebook, bro. Like
I think
dead
I
ass.
watched the Notebook too.
it was a
I
great
watched
it was a
while
great
back.
film.
I liked it.
and
I-
like
I too watched it.
and
It was I don't remember much about it.
it wasn't
Yeah,
Japanese, so I
think
didn't feel
I
anything.
think Channing Tatum was good in it.
Sorry?
Channing Tatum was good in it.
Channing Tatum.
Isn't it Channing Tatum?
It's not Channing Tatum.
No.
Wait, who is it in the
It's,
Notebook?
It's-
not Ryan Gosling.
it's-
Wait, was there another movie around that time with Channing Tatum? That I remember.
Wait, it was Ryan Gosling, wasn't it?
was it Ryan Gosling?
Was it Ryan Gosling?
I
shit.
just kind of
It's
like
that guy.
I just kind of like
What's the guy? Yeah, it's Ryan Gosling.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Fuck, there must have been another. Because I remember I was dating this girl and she forced me to watch like 3 of these films and they all blended into
That
one
had
in my
Channing
head.
Tatum in it?
Well, at that time, I swear.
21 Jump Street?
No, I swear there's a movie because before Channing Tatum was a comedy actor, he was doing romance only.
Was he?
Do you remember this?
No.
I remember this.
Yeah, Channing Tatum was the romance guy.
I think
Yeah.
I found out about Channing Tatum through 21 Jump Street.
That was when he started to like.
serious?
Yeah.
That was when he started to like pivot. But
Yeah,
before
that's
that,
when
he
he
was-
wanted to like
he was
break
like
his
the
image.
American like romance
Sweetheart.
go-to
Yeah.
hot film.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Wow, I did not know that.
That's why he did a bunch of weird films to try and kind of get out of that notion.
Ah, jeez.
What American or what Western romance
That's
stories do you
I,
like?
and
then?
when I said this out loud, and I know that we were talking about it, I was trying to think in my head because I knew you were going to ask me this, and I'm trying to think of a piece of media that I think did romance really well.
Oh, what's the fucking Jim Carrey one?
Eternal Spotless Mind.
It's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. That's a
Yeah.
romance, technically.
I love, and I swear, I feel like I haven't seen this ever in a, and maybe that you can correct me because I'd love to be wrong about this.
Mhm.
There's rarely ever stories about romance going horribly wrong.
That's why I like my fucking romances, man.
No, yours doesn't go horribly wrong. No,
I
think what Connor's talking
I
about
mean, like,
is
in,
that
like-
it seems like it's going in the right direction, and then it ends up going horribly wrong because the protagonist
as
is
it
lucky,
so
right?
does in life.
Yeah.
you know?
What are you
Yours-
talking
your
about?
one
what
is-
are you talking
You want
about?
Yours-
oops,
no, no.
I stuck my dick in my little
Yeah,
sister.
your one is your one.
Volume 4.
Your one goes wrong from minute 1.
No, it doesn't go wrong.
Okay, this is a horrible example, right?
Yeah.
But I really fucking love how they deal with romance in Peep Show. Where it's this
Are you
like-
fucking
and
serious?
where it's this fucking mess of a comp because romance is super messy in real
That's
life.
that's one step away from the fucking dentist system,
Yeah,
man.
that's so fucked up. But there's I love the whole arc with like Mark getting married because in this Peep Show he gets married to this woman that he doesn't really know if he wants to get married to, but he just thinks it's the right thing to do.
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
he realizes it's a fucking horrible idea and he didn't want to get married.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that they did a story that like in Western media we can have a bunch of these stories about stuff like that. I feel like in anime there would never be a show like that. There would never be a show where a guy gets married, turns out he doesn't like his wife, and they would commit to it in a way that would actually make you think, hold on, these guys are horrible people. It would make you think like, oh, his wife is a demon lord, that's why he doesn't like her. It's like nothing. They can never make an like just unlikable characters that we can figure out that we don't like. It's like, hey, this is a character you shouldn't like.
I think
and
it's
they tell
because
us.
it just hits too close to home for a lot of
But
Japanese people.
that's what I want.
But Japanese don't want that.
How many Japanese people, right, are in fucking loveless marriages? Why can't we get a fucking anime about a loveless
That's
marriage?
why.
I would love
That's
that.
why shows like Agretsuko was so not popular in Japan
Yeah, I
because
know.
it's too close to home, and Japanese people don't want to watch
But
anime
isn't
for
that
that
crazy
reason.
that it was about fucking animals? And
Yeah,
then-
but there
and
was-
they're still like, well, this is too real.
But they were still like, yo, Haida is totally me, dog.
This guy
Like,
said he doesn't like work. I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
no.
I'm based on what you said, Con, I'm gonna say something fucking outrageous.
Okay.
All right,
You want escapism?
no, fucking Rent a Girlfriend, man. That is almost exactly without the marriage part, but with the
Yeah, but-
everyone being assholes.
Yeah, but here's where you're gonna lose him. They're all high schoolers.
Well, okay, no. Okay.
University students, actually.
Well, they're all university students, but it's the suspension of disbelief
Mhm.
is to a degree where I'm like, I think this is silly. But I think if it was grounded in some reality, like,
Yeah.
how come every single goddamn love triangle in an anime has to be so corny and stupid? Why can't it be an actual love triangle? Like,
What do you mean?
where they have to actually like they would have to actually explore the mechanics of what it would actually mean to have to juggle this realistic love triangle and
That's
how
why.
fucked up it would be.
That's why Golden Time is one of my favorite romances because
Yeah.
it did exactly that. In my opinion, that's probably the most realistic depiction of a
Yeah.
love triangle. Not
They
counting.
also did that in Ichigo 100%.
I mean,
as well.
I think the problem is that also a lot of the times, if you were to really depict an actual love triangle, you probably wouldn't like the protagonist much.
Mhm.
yeah,
Uh,
and then you
Exactly.
end up with school days.
yeah. So how do you juggle that? But I feel like that could be and why Golden Time is so compelling,
Mhm.
because it tries to do something different and doesn't play the safe route of. In the romance, here's what's going to happen. Here's the two people are going to get together. It's all going to be
Yeah.
very happy. Oh, maybe and my pet peeve is that they're like, this romance is tough, or how do we throw some spice into this romance and make it kind of difficult?
Yeah.
I don't know, fucking kill that kid or kill someone else around them that makes them have to be sad, as opposed to having some actual problems stem from their romance. Like, let's make the problem come from an outward source, not something that they're having to deal with.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a much more mature way of approaching romance that we are a little more inclined to exploring in a Western way. But I don't think we do as like a good job either. But I feel like we just do not get this flat out at all in anime. And that's kind of the reason why I'm not too huge into anime.
Yeah, I think
romance anime.
Yeah, I think just in general, everything you described.
I don't
doesn't-
want everything to be depressing, by the way. I'm just
Yeah.
saying I would like a bit more mature.
I actually
takes
will.
on romance.
Give me more depressing romance stories.
I think
the reason for it works for me in anime is because there is that suspension of disbelief. Because I think I have a lot of the same problems that you have with romance.
Yeah.
Except when I see real actors, I'm like, this ain't real. This is like some. No. When I see real actors, that brings it out. Brings me out of the story even more
No.
because with anime it's like a animated medium. Something in my brain just thinks, okay, you have a higher suspension of disbelief just because you know that this is kind of like a fantasy cartoon world. But when I see real actors and something doesn't replicate real life how I know it, that actually makes the intricacies of what doesn't work
That's crazy.
come out even more for me.
I feel the opposite because I feel like when I'm watching a movie and there's some really talented actors, and just seeing all the little body language that they're doing to really sell this emotion or what they're thinking, I think that's just something that you just cannot replicate in anime because you can't have all these tiny little body movements. They all have to be deliberate. Whereas an actor can kind of just put in these little, maybe an arm movement, maybe a tongue in the, like literally like, I don't know, like little, really tiny little body movements that we just can't express in anime. That can really sell an emotion or a scene or doubt.
Well, I would go the opposite way, where animation is a different form, where you can express a certain idea or a certain emotion in a different way than any real actor can. You can
absolutely.
draw expressions, you can exaggerate movement and emotions without making it feel like it's out of place just because it takes place in a world of cartoons. So it's
I think it totally, for me, I'm kind of in between you guys, where for me it just totally depends on the actual story that is taking place. I think some stories works better in animation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some stories work better in live action, and I don't really have a preference.
I mean, that's why I generally prefer live action stuff for romance, just because I find that those very slight body movements really sell romance. The little things that actors can do.
I had that feeling when I watched the anime version of I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, and then I watched the live action version of it.
Yeah.
I way preferred the live action version of it because of what you said.
Yeah, you can add a lot more to it.
Yeah,
that
there's
you just can't.
like the feeling of the emotion was just so much more potent with real people as opposed to the anime. But
There's some stories that I would absolutely want more in anime than I.
Totally.
Just how it goes.
interesting.
yeah. Other than that, though, I mean, Ghost in the Shell, Akira, amazing soundtracks. Totally get it.
Yeah.
The Lugia movie, I guess that's just nostalgia for Kevin.
He is a Pokemon
It was
fan.
Entei was the third one, right?
Entei was the third
Entei
one.
was the third
That
one.
one
Yeah.
was pretty good, but I remember not being as solid as the other two. But I know a lot of people love the Entei movie.
Yeah, and the Celebi movie as well. That one was.
And then
also
there was
good.
the Unknown movie.
The Unknown movie.
Wasn't there a movie about the unknowns? Pokemon? Am I crazy?
I don't know. I haven't seen all
Is
of
there a
them.
movie? I swear there's a movie about the unknowns. And then fucking
I think the last
Lucario got his own movie.
Oh,
and-
yeah.
I think the last one I actually remember watching was.
Oh, maybe it was. Oh, yeah, it might have been the
Oh,
third
it must
one,
have been
actually.
the third one. Yeah.
The Unknown, because I think the Unknowns played a huge part in that movie.
The last one I watched was the Celebi movie.
That was a good movie, too.
That was great.
And then there was there a Latios and Latias one?
Yeah.
Fuck me, bro. They printed money. Printed money.
Hey man, good on
All
them.
right, well, solid
Yeah,
list
all
from
right,
Kevin, though,
solid
overall.
list from Kevin. Definitely, this is your composer's favorite anime kind of list.
Yeah. Is that Ghost in the Shell the movie? It is.
Yeah,
right?
it is the movie,
I haven't
which-
watched the movie, only the series.
It's good. It's
Doesn't
not.
doesn't matter. Everything about Ghost in the Shell, no matter what, except for maybe the live action movie, everything slaps pretty hard. So,
Okay. Oh, yeah.
What
Yeah.
about the 2045, the new one?
oh, we don't talk.
Yeah, we don't talk about that
Okay, I
one.
forgot about that one.
The backflipping up the stairs.
Yeah.
It's still my favorite.
If it's a Ghost in the Shell, like anime,
Yeah, like an
Then-
actual
yeah.
anime. Yeah.
Still my favorite scene ever when the guy gets all his money from getting the 1 yens from bank transactions.
Oh,
Still
yeah.
my favorite scene ever.
Yeah. So good.
All right,
All right.
next list.
Good job, Kevin.
good job. All right.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Around New Year's, we always get obsessed with how to change ourselves instead of just expanding on what we're already doing right. Episode.
Okay, so we have our next 3x3 up, and I can already tell who this is.
Wait, really?
I'm pretty confident.
Okay.
I'm pretty damn confident.
So we got Hunter x Hunter 2011, I assume.
Uh-huh.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Dragon Ball Z, Code Geass, Attack on Titan, Jujutsu Kaisen, Death Note, Vinland Saga. What's that last one?
Code Geass.
Oh, it's Code. Why did
Yeah,
they pick
I
that
think that's
picture?
Lelouch. Yeah.
No, Code Geass is up there. So what's that one?
That is
What is that? What's the last one?
Code Geass. That looks like Lelouch, and that looks like the Zero Mask. I don't know what that is. Oh, Cashion Sins?
Cashion! Oh my god, I haven't known that.
What's
so
Cash
long.
Earn?
Huh?
The fuck is Cash Earn?
Cashion Sins is...
The beta Code Geass.
I wouldn't go that far.
Is this Charlie's
I'm pretty
list?
confident it's Charlie's
It's
one.
gotta be. This
Yeah.
is the most male anime fan generic list ever.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
This is gotta be. I mean,
That made sense.
not a single romance or slice of life to be
Everything-
seen. Not a single sports anime.
Everything is action, manly stuff,
Yeah. I
fucking men,
men.
men,
Boys.
Boys.
in this one.
This is the boys
Is
only
this
club.
Charlie's? Yeah,
Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta
What's
be.
the bottom right one? Oh, it is Cash and
Yeah.
Sins. Wow, he watched Cash and Sins?
What the
Yeah.
fuck is Cash and Sins? I don't even know what this is.
Did it come out before or after?
I can't remember. It's
Before, right?
it is an action anime. That's all
What
I
is-
really know about
what
it. I didn't watch it. I didn't actually watch
I
it.
haven't watched it in years.
I think it might be kind of like
2008.
It's a mecha, I'm
It's
pretty
got
sure.
7.5 on Mal. That is literally the most 7. Like that means it's like a 5 out of 10.
But one thing that I am guessing why Charlie put this on is that it just has a very badass art style and a very badass visual kind of like identity,
That is true.
which I know Charlie would be a big fan of.
Does Charlie have a reason for putting Cash and Sins in? No?
Hmm.
All right, well, I mean...
Okay, let's go
Yeah.
go through this, even though this already screams.
Code Yes
everything.
makes sense because he said on Trash Taste that that's his favorite anime of all time,
That's valid.
which is
I
valid.
can see why
Yeah.
someone would be their
Yeah.
favorite.
I know you went through a phase of collecting Yu-Gi-Oh cards as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
So
Yu-Gi-Oh's just great. I just love the memes. I just love the... I don't know. The Yu-Gi-Oh fandom seems like they have a good time.
It's so quotable as well. It's such a great show.
The dub is great. You're a what?
dub
you're,
is so
you're
good.
a third-rate duelist. No, you're a fourth-rate duelist with a third-rate deck or something. I love
see,
that
the
quote.
problem with the dub is that I don't know. I literally can't tell which scenes are from the original dub and which scenes are from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
I think that one I just quoted is from the abridged, actually. So I think it should have been me. I think that's from the...
I think that's from the
Bridge.
dub.
That's from the...
Is it? Oh,
No.
fuck.
It should have
I
been me,
don't
not
know.
him.
I
That's
don't
from the
know
original
anymore. I
dub.
don't fucking know anymore,
But I
dude.
keep quoting like,
Well, the abridged...
my deck has no pathetic cards, Yugi, which I think is from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged. if I,
And then
if-
obviously the fucking Pot of Greed meme is all from
yeah.
the
That's from,
fucking
that's from
the abridged.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's from
the
abridged.
which one?
Pot of Greed. They're like, what does Pot of Greed do? And like no one
No one knows.
knows what Pot of Greed does.
Oh no, I think that just became a meme because every time
Pot of Greed came on.
Pot of Greed
They
came
would
on, they would
explain.
always explain the power, even though it was the most simple card you could possibly pull from the deck.
Now, wasn't it like it was like you explain how Pot of Greed works by using Pot of Greed or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I summon another Pot of Greed.
I unfortunately have no idea which memes, like you said, come from the abridged and which
Yeah.
come from the actual dub. I have.
Have you
lost.
noticed Pot of Greed is basically just every ugly bastard fucking design you've
Yep.
seen from hentai?
Yeah. It is kind of confusing and kind of concerning.
Yeah, look at this shit, man.
It's my favorite fucking card, bro.
Yeah. Pot
Can we
of
agree
Greed.
that the
Look at
Look
that.
at it's that smile, man.
Yakuza Soaring got turned on and thought, hold on now.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Oh,
We
actually,
can
I
put
have an
this-
actual Pot of Greed. That's actually kind of
Oh,
badass.
that's
I kind of want
really
that.
really sick.
I think the dual disc is probably the
You just
the
draw two
hardest-
cards, right? Yeah.
The hardest piece of equipment in all of all time. It goes so hard.
The what?
The
Sorry?
dual disc.
Oh,
The
the
fucking
yeah.
coolest piece of anime merchandise that you
Every
can
kid,
Yeah.
every kid
That's
wanted
just so
one.
iconic having one. I
Totally.
had one as a kid.
You did?
Yeah, I
oh,
had
I
one as
couldn't.
a
I
disc.
couldn't get my parents to buy me one. I
Yeah.
wanted one of these so bad when I was a kid. Holy.
It was
fuck.
so sick, but I remember it was so annoying having to keep your arm like up all the time while you're playing.
Yeah.
But it felt so fucking badass that you didn't even mind. What a cool piece of equipment.
That is the coolest card game kind of like piece of
So
equipment
sick.
that has ever
That's-
come out.
That's crazy that someone's making a video being like, I got a real dual disc. Like it's some kind of ancient artifact. Whereas I just had one as a kid and I'm like, fuck.
But
God,
what I
it's so
loved was the
fucking
little
cool.
section above
graveyard?
where where you could like put your actual deck inside of it and you could pull it out.
Yeah, and there's the graveyard is at the bottom, and then
Graveyard's
at the
your life
bottom.
points were
Yeah.
there. It was
Yeah.
such a
So-
cool, such a fucking cool piece
what a
of equipment.
fucking genius.
God, I
design.
wish that Yu-Gi-Oh came out when nerd culture was a bit more accepted because dual disc, unironically, one of the coolest things ever. I would love to see what a high
gonna buy one.
spec build.
I've already
An-
seen
an
we
actual,
should
like,
all buy one.
I-
an
I'll
actual
wait
an
till
actual
dual discs.
high spec custom build of a dual disc would look like, because obviously this looks like,
Can we all
typical
buy
kid's
one and play
toy.
Yu-Gi-Oh with it?
Sure.
I really want to.
I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh before.
I recently. Oh, you what?
I've never played Yu-Gi-Oh before.
I've played
You would love it.
Yu-Gi-Oh a few times in my life, but I recently played the Forbidden Memories PS1 game,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
which came out before the official rules of Yu-Gi-Oh were established. And,
Yeah.
I played it because it's like the craziest speed run of all time.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the game is fucked.
It's
They
also
made-
RNG.
Yeah, they
right?
made the game impossible. It's
Yeah.
so fucking hard.
Isn't it like the 100% record is like 70 something hours or something.
Yeah, because you have to get like 700 cards, and some of the cards, actually a lot of the cards have 0.1 drop rates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have to just grind, and it's like Konami was just hated kids. But that was a fun game,
What a
and it
go.
made me really want to play more Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah,
I
totally.
thought I just love
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh. It's so cool. The monster designs are just so cool.
So cool.
Yeah. I mean, of course, Attack on Titan is on there as well.
Yeah.
I saw his video where he did very much enjoy the ending. On the same, I mean, I think Charlie puts it on the same level as Code Geass now, just as a whole,
Damn.
as his like favorite anime.
DBZ he obviously grew up with, I assume.
Yes.
Same with like Death Note, I would assume. Vinland Saga, yeah, I mean, who fucking doesn't like Hunter x Hunter, Vinland Saga, like who doesn't like it?
Jujutsu Kaisen, I'm not surprised.
Not surprised.
I think it's if you're watching Jujutsu Kaisen right now. Well, I guess
With
technically
season 2.
Well, when this is out, it's finished airing, but there's
Yeah.
like 2 episodes left before.
Mm.
It's so hard not to think that it's like fucking amazing. It's the only anime I really want to keep watching every week.
It's like the latest Shibuya arc has just been that modern
Yeah.
shonen arc classic,
Insane.
in my opinion.
Insane.
It's insane. People are going to be talking about this arc for generations to come, so that doesn't surprise me. But yeah, this is it. This is the boys only club. This is sometimes I don't know if your guys' Twitter feed has been just taken over by shonen fans recently. I think it's because Jujutsu Kaisen
Thankfully not.
is it not?
No.
Every day I log onto my Twitter and someone is making a certain thread of like, oh, here are some manga panels that go hard.
Oh, I've
Oh,
seen those.
yeah.
yeah, manga panels that go hard and shit like that, and it's the same fucking 10 shows. It's like,
They might
What?
throw in Dun Dun
Well,
every
no.
now and
yeah,
then.
yeah.
Well, there was this like out of nowhere incest scene in Jujutsu Kaisen recently, and that kind of blew up. And I remember when I watched it, I was like, huh?
They kept that in. They kept that in.
Yeah, there was just a random incest part that kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was really weird. It literally came out of nowhere.
God, not
They
even
were just
Jujutsu
like-
Kaisen's safe.
Yeah, and it was really funny watching Twitter react because they were like, it was like a bunch of like because there was this one tweet that blew up that was like, ain't no way they put this in the anime, and it was just
Yeah.
showing off incest. But even more concerning, incest with like a really older sister and a very young brother,
Oh, switching
And they're
it up, I see.
actually blood related.
and they're
as
blood
well.
related.
It's none of
And
this
then-
like step sibling bullshit. They fully committing.
And it was just out of nowhere in the middle of like the most hyped shit ever, and they were like incest. You're like, fucking what?
Jesus Christ.
And then all the replies were like Vegeta with like bloodshot eyes, like screaming, being like, "Why is she so bad though?" And it's like, what is wrong with Twitter? It was like literally like Vegeta coughing up blood, being like, "I don't care though, I would." And it's like, what is wrong with Twitter? Like, what have we done? What have we done to these people?
It's so amazing how like DBZ is just one of those shows where every non-DBZ anime fan just loves to clown on that community, but fuck me, they still make some of the best goddamn memes and reaction images.
Honestly,
Of, like, anime
after
Twitter.
modern shonen, I'm like maybe we were too harsh on DBZ fans.
Well, I think it's because Goku and Vegeta have such they're so recognizable, which lends to their memeability. In the
I-
same
I-
way that like Mario and Sonic are often memed because they're
Sure.
so widely
Yeah.
recognized.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm just liking the fact that there are more anime screenshots that are just becoming widespread memes now. Like the one I've seen recently that's been spread around is the one where like Gon's about to go for the attack and
Yeah.
Killua just like got his hand on the shoulder, which is like normally used when someone's like overshooting a tweet or someone's like saying something that might have been going a little bit too far, and someone just replies that, and I'm like,
so good.
I'm like, that's so fucking good. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much else to say about this one. Good taste, Charlie.
The
I mean,
Boys.
Charlie, this is just good taste. We know this is good taste.
It's just
and
like your bro comes to you who is like, "Hey, I want to get into anime. Welcome to the starter pack."
Yeah.
all right.
All right, let's look at the next one.
Moving on.
Oh shit!
Okay. Ooh. Wow. All right. So we have Terran Resonance, Afro Samurai, Helsing,
Oh,
Death
yeah.
Note, One Outs. What's the left one? That looks familiar.
There's one thing that stands out to me.
Yeah.
It's
Oh my
like
god,
a
I just saw
sore
it.
thumb. we
Prince
got-
of Tennis, Kokkoku, and
We got handshakers, in the
Handshakers.
bottom right, which is one of the
Why?
Considered one of the worst
Why?
animes of.
It's
like,
one of the
it's-
worst
it's
shows ever made.
awful. Is that handshakers or is that Wiz? I
no,
can't
it's
tell.
Handshakers.
This has to be Shindo L, right?
You reckon?
I don't know if it is.
I really, I love Shindo, and I really hope he doesn't say.
Oh
handshake.
wait, no,
I think it
no,
might
wait, it's
be.
Mudan.
I think it might be Mudan's.
You know why? Because Mudan told me he loved Handshakers one time.
What?
Yeah, and I was like, wait, isn't that like the worst anime of the year when it came out? And he
Yeah.
was like, yeah. So this is definitely Mudan. I fuck with One Outs though. One Outs is
One else
fucking
is great.
sick. Sick.
Is this Mudon? Oh my God, Mudon! Why the fuck would you put
I-
handshakers on there?
I saw Handshakers and I was like, it's either Shindo L or Mudan, and I'm leaning more towards Mudan just because from a visual standpoint, like from a purely visual standpoint, it's pretty impressive how
Shout out to Go Hands.
yeah, it's pretty impressive how bad something can be from a visual standpoint. It's not like it's not like it's bad and nobody because nobody's trying. Someone is trying. The team is trying really hard to make something look visually interesting.
Yeah, the team said how many textures.
Yeah,
do
but
you
didn't
want?
it
And
look
the director said
fucking-
yes.
Didn't it look shit?
And
Yeah.
They just added way too many different textures. So it just
Yeah.
looks horrendous.
They added way too many textures, and I think at that point they discovered like dynamic camera movement, and they tried using that shit for everything. It's like the equivalent of when you're making your first PowerPoint presentation and
Yeah.
you learn about the star wipe transition, and you
Yeah.
use that for every single slide. That's what it felt like the
It's
team
like
was
you
doing.
do that with every single slide, and all the text is in word art. That's what it's like. Rainbow font word art.
So what's the three in the bottom left corner? What are those three? The one with the
That's
orbs.
the orb one.
Yeah, what's that one?
I'm not sure.
Hinamatsuri. That is Hinamatsuri, and that is a fucking great
So
series.
I never actually watched that.
Hinamatsuri and then Prince of
Prince
Tennis.
of
Prince of Tennis, Kokoku.
Kokoku.
I
What's-
don't know much about Kokoku. I would
The
be
opening was
very,
banger.
very
That's all I
interesting. All I
remember.
know is that the opening is one of my favorite openings
Miyabi.
from that year. In
Yeah.
fact, it's an absolute banger opening. Watched the first 4 episodes, and I don't remember anything about it
Same.
at
What
all.
was that show about?
It was a time travel thing, right?
Oh.
Was it time travel? I'm not
Shit,
sure.
I don't even remember. I also maybe watched like the first 2 or 3 episodes and then didn't
Prince
pick
of
it up.
Tennis. That's
Prin-
surprising.
That's a classic.
I thought that was. I haven't met anyone who said that's their favorite sports anime.
You'd be surprised. A lot of people in
I
Japan.
know in Japan it's very
especially,
popular,
Yeah, it's huge.
but in the Western,
It's
Western
one of my,
world-
I would say, like guilty pleasure sports anime because the one thing that Prince of Tennis and a lot of sports anime does that I personally don't really like is the whole like bullshit power up.
I fucking love that in sports anime.
yeah, but shows like Prince of Tennis do it in a way where it's just fucking.
Yeah, didn't he hit like
entertaining.
the sun or something? Or
No,
was it-
he. Okay. So let me explain
Which
this.
one do you start with?
Let me explain the play by play because I know exactly the one you're talking about. I might have talked about this before,
Yeah,
but there is a
perhaps.
scene where one of the powers is Tezuka.
Tezuka Zone.
He has a power called Tezuka Zone, right?
good.
And the power is no matter where you want the ball to go when you return it to him, the ball will always spin towards his zone of control, right? So that's the power. So the visual metaphor that they go
Orbits.
to, huh?
Orbit.
Is that so Tezuka is like kind of like the beginning of everything, the start of the universe, basically. This is
Okay.
every time he hits a ball, it always orbits around him, and then the balls turn into planets that turn into the galaxy that turn into the universe. And Tezuka started the Big Bang, and the Big Bang turns into a tennis ball, I think, and then he hits the tennis ball, and then the ball turns into an asteroid that wipes out the dinosaurs.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah.
So good.
It's like Sephiroth's final attack.
It's so good. But like that's the thing. It's like Prince of Tennis and iShield 21 are the 2 sports shows in my opinion where these like completely unrealistic bullshit power ups just make for some of the most entertaining
I like
matches.
Kurokono's bullshit powers too.
See, I thought Kuroko's was just kind of whatever.
I like them.
Really?
them. Yeah, I like them.
I wish Kuroko went further like Prince of Tennis did.
I actually when Prince of Tennis started going a little bit further that it started to lose me.
Really?
Yeah. I think Tezuka Zone was like funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't taking that scene seriously at all.
I didn't take the entire show seriously. Though.
There was a point where I took it seriously. And then I kind of realized, number one, I think I fucking despise the main character.
Is
Like-
he a dick or like why?
Okay, like I just I was with him until it kind of made me realize that he's like this like 11, 12-year-old prodigy who's just so fucking cocky and arrogant. And I'm like, man, imagine if he existed in real life. And
Could you imagine an 11, 12-year-old going, mother, bunny?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. He points his fucking tennis racket at you, and you do, and,
So you got
just
a long
goes,
way
mother,
to go.
mother,
And
done
I'm
it.
like, you are 12.
And I'm like, listen to you little shit.
Shut up!
Yeah, but like Princess of Tennis was actually my first sports anime as well. I still have a lot of nostalgia over it, but I can't.
It was fun. It was stupid fun.
I can't say it's better than other sports anime that I've watched after Prince of Tennis.
Yeah, that's
but-
why I say it's kind of like my guilty pleasure sports show, because it's like a sports show that's so ridiculous that you can't take it seriously. And
Yeah.
it just goes beyond a sports anime.
I love that we have Death Note and then Sports Death Note on here.
Yeah.
1 ounce. I love 1 ounce so much.
One Ounce is such an underrated sports
So
anime.
underrated.
It's not many people talk about it anymore, but this is my kind of like pick for a sports anime that not enough people have watched,
So good.
and I still think the quality is there. If you
Yep.
want to watch Death Note, but with the Death Note
Baseball.
logic applied to baseball, watch 1 Ounce.
Does Mudan have opinions? No? You didn't get any? Okay. Because, like, Afro Samurai is an interesting pick. I mean, it's a fucking fantastic show, but I've never heard him even mentioning Afro Samurai.
I mean, the fact that Samuel Jackson voices
Well, yeah.
him
Didn't
in
he?
English is
Didn't he
just
produce it?
crazy. I'm not sure, actually.
He was. I think he was like one of the lead staff in that. I think he either wrote it or produced it or something. I know
I've
that
actually
for a
never
fact.
watched it. I just know that Samuel Jackson voices him.
Oh, you would love it.
Really?
You would love
Yeah.
it. It's such a good show. Hellsing is like, I mean, yeah, who doesn't like Hellsing?
I love the dub of Hellsing. The
Dub of
English
Hellsing
version-
is
the
good.
English is so fucking good.
It's just fucking handshakers. Like, why?
I
Why,
can see
Mudan?
why he likes it.
Really?
I mean, it's
I can't see why anyone would like it.
Midon loves bad things.
yeah.
He loves
I get that.
because he loves weird shit.
No, I
Yeah.
get that. But like, I have a lot of shows that I love where it's like it's so bad that it's good. But Handshakers wasn't even it's so bad that it's good. It's just so bad.
On a visual perspective, which
Even
I
a
know,
storytelling perspective.
well, storytelling perspective, I think was just
I
very.
can't power up unless I'm touching a girl's hand. That's
Yeah.
literally the entire premise of Handshakers.
Storytelling perspective was very generic, but
Yeah.
from a visual perspective, it is actually like incredible.
I'd like to imagine that he's rebuttaling all that we're saying. In the,
Yeah, the
in
text notes right
text
here.
notes.
This is
Mudan-
why
Mudan-
you're wrong.
Mudan would say something like, he'd look at you dead in the face and go, "Yeah, and it's awesome that they hold hands." That's what he would say.
That was a really good movie.
Yeah. I do like how out of everything here, there's just this nice feel-good anime that's Hinamatsuri.
I never actually watched it.
If
what's it like?
there's one, Handshakers isn't the thing that stands out to me the most in this one, because it's actually Hinamatsuri, because it proves to me that Mudan isn't a robot.
He's a
And
human.
yeah, he's a human with emotions. Because everything else, I'm like, okay, this is like
Yeah.
only an AI could enjoy Handshakers. I can understand the enjoyment from just a
It's
purely
just fascinating.
from
is the
from a
way-
purely technical perspective. That is fucking fascinating. Hinamatsuri is just so fucking feel good.
It looks feel good.
It's
Would you recommend?
I would actually recommend.
Okay.
The only reason I think that more people didn't talk about it was because it came out in a year that was an absolute banger of anime years in terms of shows coming out. So
Right.
it just got swept under the rug. But it's one of those shows that does this whole, showing the relationship between a father and a daughter really, really well. If you watch Hinamatsuri, you are a father and you have a daughter, this is the show for you, because it'll make
So it's Usagi Drop with a good ending.
it's not even good. yeah
Yeah.
kind of yeah.
All right.
all right
You sold me.
all right.
All right, cool. Thanks, Mudan.
Let's do the next.
I'm
Thank you
looking forward to
very
the
much.
amount of shit he's going to
Got a lot-
talk.
I've seen
on
a lot of
screen.
Death Notes on the list so
Yeah.
far.
And Terror Resonance as well. I think that's the
Terror and
second.
Resonance.
Is that third time we've seen Death Note now? Or
Yes.
second?
I think so.
Selling a little or a lot? Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. My fellow business enjoyers, Shopify is a global entrepreneurs.
All right, say no more. Say
Oh.
no more.
Oh,
Yeah, I know
yep,
this is.
yep.
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
Emily.
Yeah. I saw Fruits Basket. I saw fucking Card Captor. I saw Ore Monogatari. I saw what else is there? Everything. Is that Tokyo Mew Mew in the bottom there?
That is Tokyo Mew Mew at the
Yeah.
bottom. Yes.
I mean, yeah, every show is follows girls.
This is everything Emily draws.
Yeah.
This is literally everything Emily draws. So there's Nichijou, Fruits Basket, Card Captor Sakura, Ore Monogatari, Kaguya-sama, Panty and Stocking, which is based.
Yeah.
Fucking Konosuba, Tokyo Mew Mew, and what's the bottom right one there?
Skip and Loafer. That's something that aired this year.
Yeah,
Jeremy.
they love
Okay.
skipping
Yeah.
over.
Okay.
Skip and Loafer is great.
I didn't see
it's
it.
One of,
Shockingly.
yeah, genuinely, I know why Emily put Skip and Loafer there. That show screamed Emily.
It
It's-
looks like Emily drew that. Doesn't it?
It's cute. It's feel good. It's one of my favorite romances that aired this year as well. And it's been a long time since I've seen characters that actually feel like people and
Okay.
not anime characters. It's just a very genuine show.
Honestly, the one that sticks out to me is Panty and Stocking. I did not expect. I mean, I assume Emily's going to say like, "Oh, I like Panty and Stocking because the art style is so unique," which it was, and it still is to this day. But it just, I don't know. It doesn't seem like a show that Emily would be into. You know what I mean?
I'm like hang out with Emily. I wouldn't be surprised if she put this on here, because she saw it was like, you know, knowing what type of person Emily is and the background that she has. It's like seeing Panty in the Stocking for the first time and just hearing the amount of fucking swearing
Yeah.
and just how gross it is at some point. She's
Yep.
like, oh my god, maybe this is like awakening something in me. I don't know why do I kind of dig this? What the hell?
I
And I
kind of
love
feel like saying "fuck."
yeah, they just say fuck and shit in my anime, and it has a transformation sequence as well.
Yeah.
Like magical girls. What? Yeah, because Panty and Stocking is just a magical girl series in disguise.
It's
right?
so good.
Yeah.
And Panty and Stocking season 2 coming out soon. Fuck yeah!
I'm
Let's
excited.
go! I'm
Yeah.
so pumped for that.
Obviously, Card Captor Sakura as well. I don't know if Emily watched Card Captor Sakura or the OG Card Captors, which I count as a different show.
That is a different show. Yeah.
Why, what's the difference?
Because it was dubbed for America, and it kind of. Did you hear about the One Piece 4Kids dub controversy at all?
Well, when they changed like animation.
It's just
Yeah,
They-
which controversy are we talking
Yeah, there's a lot.
okay. Just the fact that it exists.
Well,
and
yeah,
what they did.
I remember because I watched One Piece on Cartoon Network, and I remember
Yeah.
that they'd change all like the weapons to like toy weapons.
Sanji
They-
doesn't smoke cigarettes, he
Yeah.
eats lollipops.
I remember that too.
It goes more than that. They changed all of the music to resemble more like Saturday morning cartoons. So all the original soundtrack is gone.
Best anime opening ever.
They changed characters to be, hey, wacky, I'm going to say a pun kind of like character. So they basically changed the entire vibe and everything about the show. And I wouldn't say Card Captors was on that same level of changes, but there definitely was a hell of a lot of changes. I mean, they changed the names of the characters. I think Sakura is the same because it's Card Captor
Yeah.
Sakura. I think her best friend, they changed her name to Madison. Madison? Yeah, they changed her name to Madison.
What was her real name?
I can't remember because
Why does-
I'm not
okay,
gonna lie.
It's
I
I'm not
certainly
gonna
isn't
lie,
fucking Madison.
I'm not gonna
that
lie.
Dog looks like it's fan art inserted into that picture. It does.
Furry artists are like salivating.
It doesn't look real.
It does look like a piece of furry art.
It looks like it's just been put in there.
Card
My
Captor.
OC with Sakura. Like why? Like what is that?
Is that Madison?
No, Madison's the black-haired chick.
yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, I forgot what his name was now.
I
forgot.
haven't seen Card Captor in so goddamn long.
I'll be honest. I remember more about Card
It seems
Captors than
like,
Card Captor
there-
Sakura.
in Japan, there seems to be these shows that are more aesthetic shows, and this seems to fall into that. Where I see a lot of people who like more so the aesthetic than the actual show itself.
Well, Card Captor Sakura was is written by Clamp, who made some of the most
Mm-hmm.
visually aesthetic shows
Yeah.
of that kind, right?
yeah.
So like everything Clamp made was just like, oh my god, this looks so pretty.
Because like when I ask people, who really like the show, I'm like, why do you like it? They're like, I just love the like aesthetic and I love the vibe of it,
Yeah.
more, as opposed to, hey, look, it's got a great story.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the vibe of Card Captor Sakura. I don't remember
Oh yeah, her name
The
was
actual
Tomoyo.
Tomoyo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
became Madison.
Madison.
That is-
Hey, Madison.
Wait, so was
That is out of pocket.
so did they change all the character names?
No, I think Lee, they didn't change because Lee, there's, you just say
Keraberos is the same.
Kiro was his name.
Kiro.
Yeah, Kiro.
I guess Keraberos was too long.
yeah, Keraberos was too long. Kizaron Sana. It was Kiro. I think they changed his her brother's name as well.
God
So it's
damn
not
it.
Yukito. So
Well,
any
it's like John. Sakura and Clive.
I like how they just kept Sakura because it was like Sakura.
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 The beautiful.
Card Captain Sakura dub character names. Here we go.
Okay, let's see. What do we got? Sakura Avalon instead of
Oh,
Sakura Kinimoto. Sharon Lee is Lee Shoron.
Oh my.
Okay,
God.
Keraberos is still Kara. Okay, that's good. Tomoyo is Madison Taylor. Toya Kinomoto is Tori Avalon.
Okay.
Yukito is Julian Starr. Okay, Maylin Lee is Maylin Ray.
What the?
Why? What?
Why?
Why that change? That makes no sense whatsoever.
Ariel Hiragizawa is Eli Moon. What the fuck?
Yeah.
They didn't change Nakura's name though.
Ruby Moon.
Layla Mackenzie. Kaho Mizuki is Layla Mackenzie. Bruh.
Well, yeah, that's
Chiharu is Chelsea.
Oh my God.
Oh my god, why would you do that?
God.
Zachary.
God. Back in the day of English localizing dubs.
Oh, Wei
man.
Wang is still Wei Wang.
Wei
though.
Wang, yeah. They were like, that's just a banger. That's a banger.
Yeah,
name.
Wei Wang is so easy
Wei
to
Wang
say.
is a banger name. We're not
Maki
changing that.
Matsumoto is just Maggie. What the actual fuck?
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
so I'm interested. I'm assuming she would have watched the
Wait,
dub
what?
of Card Captors because that was the thing that aired on TV back in the
Oh my
day.
god, that's so funny.
Of course, yeah, Nichijou is there.
Yeah, I went to the
still,
Nichijou Cafe with her. It's awesome.
yeah.
Nichijou I've still been meaning to watch.
So funny.
Still been meaning to watch that. I know it's so goated and everyone talks about how
Yeah.
amazing it is. I just need to watch it.
I mean, it's like obviously the comedy is always subjective. So like it's I know a lot of people who don't really understand the comedy of Nichijou because they just don't really like the kind of lol random subverting expectations kind of humor. But
Yeah.
what makes the show so goated is just Kyoto Animations. Just work on it. It's
I like the style of it.
so aesthetically beautiful.
It's so impressive and expressive.
And they managed to like hold on to Arai Keiichi's like manga art style
Mm.
as well. Like the
Mhm.
manga looks
Yeah,
exactly
it looks
the same.
very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised Nichijou hasn't been like maybe it came out too early or maybe not enough people watched it.
I think it was ahead of its time.
But it's
sure.
the perfect meme reaction show.
Oh yeah.
You know, to the point where I'm surprised I don't see more meme reactions of just Nichijou characters.
Mm,
You know,
totally.
yeah,
Or- sorry, go on.
Ore Monogatari as well. My
Yeah.
love story. I only watched. Was there only one season of that? I can't remember.
Yeah, I believe so. It was aight, I guess.
It was aight.
It was aight.
It was aight.
It was good,
It was
but
cute.
That character just looks like how Emily draws herself.
I mean that's a very common theme with Emily favorite shows. Like Emily
Yeah.
wishes.
Emily's probably kicking this. No, I don't do that. I'm like,
Emily wishes she was Tora from Fruits Basket, bro.
Yeah.
That is Emily.
yeah.
This is just hello. I'm a klutz main character
Yep.
energy. The one scene I remember from My Love Story is just the scene where I don't know, she's running off or something, and then she trips over, and then they show her tripping over, and she's just lying flat on the ground,
Just like dead.
just like dead. and I was like, why did they have to put that scene in? I don't know.
Yeah, I did think all those character types were made up until I met Emily, and I was like, wait, people are actually this clumsy and klutzy.
Yeah, because I know exactly why she put fucking Konosuba in as well.
Yeah,
Because Aqua is Emily.
yeah.
Yeah.
Aqua is Emily with blue hair. Tokyo Mew Mew, I guess, you just grew up on that stuff.
Mhm.
It's a solo magical girl show. And yeah, Kaguya-sama is just a really fucking good show. Just, in general.
It is the modern equivalent of that first romance anime that this new generation is going to look back on
Totally.
and think, hey, what would you say is the Kaguya-sama of our generation?
Romance?
School
Yeah.
days.
School days?
No, I'd say, Well, because like, I don't know, was there a romance comedy like Kaguya-sama that came out? Because like, I feel a lot of the romance shows that we look fondly over.
I feel it was Toradora.
Yeah, but like, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
Toradora.
Toradora, but like, it's not the same vibe, right? Because Kaguya-sama definitely,
I don't
especially
think it has to
early.
be the same
I don't
vibe,
think
just
it has to be exactly the same
I
vibe.
was just
but-
talking romance in
just
general.
the big romance.
Then
Yeah,
yeah, Toradora
okay,
for sure.
because here's the trajectory every like a lot of anime fans take,
Yeah.
right? Which is you discover anime through one of the mainstream stream shonens. Maybe it's probably Naruto
Sure.
back in the day, and then you're like, oh wait, there are anime about things that aren't people punching each other. And then there's always like that one guy or that one friend who recommends a romance anime for you to watch. And I feel like in this day and age, it is Kaguya-sama. In our
Yeah,
generation,
It'd probably be Toradora because that one guy was probably like, "Don't worry, there's some actual epic action scenes in Toradora."
I feel like it was either Toradora or Clanad.
yeah,
Does Clanad count as a romance? I'm not sure.
yeah, totally.
It's just the slowest romance of all fucking time.
It's also one of the most depressing romances of all time. As
part
well.
two is.
Yeah.
Part two is.
Yeah,
That
after
one's just
story.
depressing because you're like, fucking talk to each other.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
It's-
what else can we say about
All
this?
of these romances is the kind of romances that Connor absolutely despises as well.
Yeah. These are all romances I would despise.
I mean, the only one you kind of like is Panty Stocking.
I fuck with Penny and Stocking a lot.
Yeah, Konosuba you like, right?
I love Konosuba, yeah.
And you like Kaguya-sama?
I haven't watched Kaguya-sama.
Oh, okay. I think you'd like Kaguya-sama.
I don't think you would like
Really?
No, no.
Why not?
Well, because Kaguya-sama has a
Why-
lot of
why not?
comedy elements to it, which I think you might find
That
funny.
he can't look past the high school element of it.
Ah.
Yeah, the high school element is frustrating.
Okay.
It's the entire like a lot of the comedy revolves around this idea of them being the student council.
Right.
Oh, I fucking hate student council.
I know Connor.
Okay,
I'm like
okay.
he'll hear high
Well,
school. He's
I-
like,
I take that
okay,
back then. I
okay,
take that back.
maybe I could look past it. He'll see student council. He was like,
I'm
I
out.
I'm out.
I'm out. Why
Okay,
is the
never
student
mind.
council in Japanese anime have more power than the fucking presidency? They somehow can get shit done.
Because that's what Japanese high school kids wish in their head.
Ah.
That's how they envision it in their head, because that's all they know.
I don't know.
It's just
Alright.
a power fantasy, you know. All right, but yeah, this was very typical of Emily. Good job.
Good job, Emily.
Good job, Emily. For,
Good job.
You know, fulfilling your
Yes.
stereotypes. Let's go on to the next one.
Next one.
Oh, good thing to know that we do indeed know our friends.
Yeah, we're pretty good at this.
Yeah, we're 4 for 4 so
yeah,
far.
4 for 4.
Oh, I know who this is.
Oh, I think I know who this is as well. Yeah, I know who this is.
Yeah, I know who this is.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My bad. Yeah. Wait, what?
We have 3 people left. Shindo L,
Yeah.
Sydney, and Kaho. One of them doesn't make sense, but I'm pretty sure the rest is.
All right.
Wait, no, this one's. I actually don't know this one. This could be any of them.
No.
Really?
Yes, I know who this is.
Okay, should we go in 3, 2, 1?
Okay, I'm gonna take a guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
3,
2,
1.
Sydney.
Sydney.
Okay.
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 Okay, the thing-
Anohana and Orimo.
Yeah. Okay. I looked at like Aiken, Kamichama Kari, like Anohana,
What
Orimo.
the fuck is that Aiken art? I just saw that. Why
Oh,
does everyone have the most giant tits?
Aiken is one of the worst anime ever made. B, one of the funniest shows because it's just so bad.
So I remember. So the reason I know this was because she obviously told me to this.
Yeah.
Told me the shows to put on.
Yeah.
I noted down some things about why they're on there as well.
Okay.
Because she was saying some of this shit. She was saying some of this shit. The first show she says is Naruto, and I'm like, I've been with you for 10 years. We're married now. I didn't even know you watched Naruto. I was
I think
like,
she was just trying to please her husband with this.
she was like, what the fuck? You've watched Naruto?
Why does
Sydney,
she-
we've
wh-
been married? And she was like, yeah, this was her first anime. And
Wow.
it was the very first time she felt goosebumps watching any shonen or any show in general. She talks about the
That's surprising.
Rock Lee versus Gara fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, excuse me? How have you never talked to me about this?
You've never referenced taking off the weights?
Yeah, you've never referenced taking off the weights. You know, you clown on everyone who watches Naruto, and so that was the biggest kind of like surprise for me.
So Aiken
Aiken.
What is this show
So-
about other than big tits?
So Aiken is a show from the early 2000s, and 1 or 2 episode OVA, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And it's set in high school.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most overtly over-sexualized, overreacted, just like comedy shows, I guess.
Imagine if fan service characters were some Lovecraftian nightmare creatures.
Yeah, they look like that.
That's Aiken, because you look at their tits, and it goes beyond not even knowing how the female anatomy works.
Yeah.
It's
I just remember the character, the character with like literally the biggest pair of tits I've ever seen in my life. Like
Yeah.
it's like the size of her entire body.
Yeah, and they go full jiggle physics with
the
it
fucking
as well.
jump rope scene.
Yeah. And Sydney told me that this is on there because this is the very first ecchi show that she watched. This was the very first ecchi show
How
that
did
she
even
watched.
stumble across this? I never even heard of this
Because
show.
this is such an infamous show.
Yeah, because this show got infamous because of the tits. Like
Yeah.
you go on like any forums and someone would have like some sort of like GIF of one of the girls with her tits like
Yeah.
fucking flopping
I
about.
want to check this out on YouTube.
Please,
right now.
Yeah.
watch any scene from
Definitely-
Aiken
definitely-
and you'll be like, what the fuck is going
Definitely going to get age restricted if we show any clips on here.
Yeah.
But she told me that this was the first ecchi show she ever watched, and she
That's so
was
funny.
and she was so terrified that her dad would find out what she was watching that she literally system rebooted her entire computer after watching Aiken.
I mean, that's a great fucking choice. Yeah, I think I would just smash my computer with a hammer.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Which scene are you watching?
This is like their boobs are like sentient things.
Yeah. Yep. That's the
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
scene I
that's-
remember.
that is the scene.
That's the scene I remember.
What the heck?
I was gonna make a video on this show years ago, and I was like, I don't think I can without getting like fucking community guidelines striked for showing anything. Okay,
Yep.
see, I looked at this 3x3, and the reason why I got confused is because of Bobobo.
Same here, bro. Same here.
Yeah.
I fucking love Bobobo, and Sydney and I have never talked about Bobobo.
Sydney's never mentioned this to me either.
Yeah, what the fuck?
No
And-
way. She's watched Bubba Bo?
Yeah, she fucking.
What?
I mean, when she that was the second thing she said after Naruto. She was like Naruto, bo, because those.
It's Bobobo.
I don't fucking
Alright.
know.
Come on, do not put disrespect on my man's name.
I don't fucking know, man.
It is one of the funniest manga series I've ever read.
I'll be honest. I haven't seen it.
It's so fucking
So
funny.
what was her reasoning for putting it on the list?
It was Naruto and bo, of however many. Did it say it the amount right amount?
Bobobo.
Bo.
There you go.
Those were like just her two childhood animes.
It was
That's-
huge on Cartoon Network, I remember. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
The dub was really popular overseas.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Naruto and Bobobo. I didn't know this because in England we did not get Bobobo at all. So Naruto I knew about, but I didn't know that was like widely spread on television as well.
Yeah.
Um,
Bobobo is just the most like if you took every kind of poo poo pee pee humor and threw it into I think the
You've
original
sold me.
I think the original manga was like almost 30 volumes.
Yeah.
But it is, oh my god, like this is still to this day one of the most absurd yet hilarious comedy shows, and the anime as well is really fucking funny as well.
yeah, obviously Oran High School Host Club that checks out. That is like
That checks out.
hello. I have just discovered my first shoujo anime.
Anohana checks out. I think I've heard Sydney sing the ending more than I've actually heard the actual ending.
Do you think
Sydney does
Anohana?
bring up Anohana a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you think Anohana would have aged well at all?
Oh, that's a good question.
I watched it, and when I watched it, I was like,
Huh.
"This is a show that I never ever want to watch again." So I'll never find out. I just never wanted to watch it again. I was like, "I'll
I
find."
mean, I for one,
If I needed to cry, I would put on Anohana.
yeah,
Oh
I for
my
one
God.
fucking loved this show when I watched it. Cried like a baby at the end. Beautiful music as well.
Yeah.
Opening and ending banger.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would recommend it to people today though.
I know, right?
It's hard. I think it's really like I think people who watch it now, some people will like really fucking connect to it, and then others will be like, this
See,
is so cheesy.
I'm scared to rewatch it because I hold it really, really close to my heart. It's the vibe of the show is everything that I love, but at the same time, I think back to it and I'm like, a lot of this, I love the crying, the sadder part of the aspects just
Yeah.
feels really cheap. Like,
Yeah.
here, let me play this really sad song
Yeah.
when I want you to cry.
Yeah.
And it worked. It worked. It like conditioned us. Like we were a fucking dog. We're like, okay, you hear the bell, or you
Pavlov's
cry
dog.
now. You cry.
What I would recommend instead, I think, instead of Anohana, is Makia. The
Makia?
movie. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
because that's written by the same person. And I think Makia is just, is the better aged version of Anohana.
God, do you know what I think would be interesting? Because I had this thought the other day, where you take a show like Anohana or some other really popular show, and you do kind of like an after story of all of the characters grown up, right? And just seeing where, like, I think, Kai, can you pull up the Anohana 10 years later? Like, they did a 10 years later drawing, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh, just give me one, like
I
a
don't know if
side
I'm
story.
Ready. I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at that poster.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
No!
Click on the close up.
My babies!
Can we see a close up
He's
of
got
this
a
man?
beard!
He's got a beard.
Ah!
Wait, look.
Oh my god! Nah, no. Oh my, nah. I'm not.
I broke down into a hippie, man. Look at the main character.
Yo, the guy on the left is me for real. I wasn't ready for that. They're like salarymen, bro.
Yeah, I know. Right in the feels, man.
Oh,
Oh,
that's just
I will say, like the fucking blue-haired girl. Whew.
yeah.
Like, be careful who you make fun of in high school, man. Blue-haired girl. Whew.
Yeah,
Like, be careful of who you make fun of in high school, man. Be careful of who you make fun of in high
They should
school.
have done an anime from this age. Would have been more interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, there's still hope. You know, they might remake it. Who knows?
yeah. Hopefully, I mean, I would not necessarily Anohana, but I would love to see something like this in general.
True,
Especially because all we get is like the fucking what if official collaboration pieces or what if fan
Yeah.
arts. But I would love to see something like that because I think that would
Sure.
be absolutely incredible.
All right, going back to the 3x3 though. Here's another question I had for Sydney. Higurashi.
Yeah.
Now, on this 3x3, it's the recent readaptation of
It
it.
should have been the original.
I think
Is the
Higurashi.
it's-
original?
I think
Okay.
it's just, producers put it
Okay,
together.
okay. I wanted to ask, are we talking about the original Higurashi?
Yeah. I mean, checks out.
Checks out.
She loves her horror, so
Yeah.
this is not surprising at all. And there is not a lot to pick from.
It's the
for-
most solid entry, I'd say.
Yeah.
The original one for sure.
Yeah, I can see this one. This is always the first horror anime that got spread around just because it was like so shocking that cute girls could actually, it's a cutesy art style, but actually they're all murderous girls and there's blood and there's gore.
Yeah. And it has one of the most convoluted stories ever written in horror.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Which
I
is
never,
great.
I've never finished the second season of Higurashi, which I know.
Bad.
Kai.
Yeah.
No, I liked it.
I thought it was too slow.
Really?
Yeah, in the first season is too slow too.
I mean, I've
And-
played the original visual
Oh,
novel, and
okay.
that is way slower than the anime. So,
Yeah.
But that attracts a certain kind of person.
you know what's good though? The Higurashi manga is actually, I think,
I can believe
more terrifying than the anime.
Ah,
Because what
okay.
they did with the Higurashi manga, which I really like, because you know how Higurashi is split up into like different sections, I guess, in
Yeah.
the story. So what they did in the manga was each section is actually illustrated by different manga artists.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
So each section,
helpful.
yeah. So you
Yeah.
actually, when you go through each section, you actually get completely different visuals and different interpretations of that part of the story. And some of them are some of the most terrifying manga panels I've ever
I
seen.
cannot think about the show without that scene from that documentary where the guy's like, "Yeah, today I researched how much gas it would take to blow up a school."
Wait, what?
Have you not seen
What?
this?
No.
There is this documentary on YouTube
Yeah.
following, I think, like the family that was like making the visual novel game. So if you go to YouTube, type in like Higurashi documentary. It's actually a pretty cool documentary of them just following the family that makes it.
Right.
And
The Yukishio 7, right? Yeah.
yeah. And I don't know if it's all dedicated to it, but there is like one scene where the old guy, I swear he looks at his PC, he turns around and he goes, well, today for accuracy, I had to figure out how much gas it would take to blow up a school for one of the scenes. And I was like, I don't think you had to research that.
Well, you needed to make it realistic, right?
I was like, did that have any bearing on the plot? Was like a question. I was like, how much gas should we buy, guys?
Oh yes, officer. That's why being an author is just the best way to
How many views?
give yourself
629.
629
How the
views.
fuck did you find that?
It was I think it's been re-uploaded a bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
it's
was
from
based-
an NHK program from 2005.
Yeah,
It was
there's no
just
way
following-
they uploaded in 60 FPS in 2005.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck why they
Sure.
did that. But yeah, they basically followed him, and there's a scene where he's like the old man. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, can you play it from here? Yeah. I think it's like around here.
The father who once banned games is in charge of background research.
For one game, I had to research and chart volcanic gas composition. And for another, I had to figure out how much gas was needed to blow up a classroom.
I literally cannot think about this show without just imagining an old man Googling
Yeah.
how much gas it takes to blow up a classroom. I'm surprised I
Him
remembered
getting
that,
on some
actually.
government list.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised I remembered that the exact
Oh my
scenario.
god.
And I have no idea.
Hey man, they had to make sure it could be a real, because remember
You
Higurashi.
do not need to measure that. You do not-
Higurashi is a mystery horror. That
How
had
did
to be
he-
realistic.
How did he calculate that?
I don't know.
I'm sure there is
He asked
some
someone
way.
on 2chan probably.
Yeah, dude. I just can't.
Reddit, figure it out. There's gonna be someone in the subreddit on this episode that's being like, I
Subreddit.
figured out the gas
The
composition
exact amount.
and how
needed.
much you needed.
It's probably
just
someone
like,
on Reddit
what-
being like, depends
Yeah,
on
like,
the size of the
how
classroom.
did you research that? Tell me. Okay, did you really need to research that?
I don't know.
I've never once seen an explosion, a piece of media, and thought, no,
there wasn't enough
right.
gas there.
This doesn't seem right.
Hey man, some authors want the believability of their story to be watertight.
But it's just the fact that it's the whole family producing it, and it's
Yeah.
the father. It's just this old man who's just sitting there, looks deadpan in the camera. Today, I had to research how to blow up a school.
It's the deadpan.
It's like,
It's the
what?
deadpan voiceover that fucking kills me.
Yeah, it's so good.
So good.
It's so fucking funny.
But yeah, good choice I think for a horror anime.
What on earth is this
Kami-sama
Kami-chan?
Kari.
Kamichira Canon.
Kami-sama Kani. I've heard Sydney talking about this. I've never seen it myself.
This
All
looks
I
like,
know-
This is like a Saturday Night Live parody of anime.
Yeah.
The eyes are so
All I know
monstrously big.
is that there is one scene or the one clip, screenshot that got really, really memed. And it's the one where it's like, search up Kamichima Karen eyes. And I'm sure it's gotta be.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's
Where
the
she
one
looks
where
like
the
a
eyes are
fucking
just like
bug.
fucking-
Where the
Yeah.
that's the one.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Wait, this looks like my drawings of characters.
Everybody thinks this is an edit, but this is actually in the episode.
This is
What?
in
Why?
the episode.
Because this is what the art style was in the early
What
2000s.
the fuck?
This is the mid 2000s how to draw anime art book.
Yeah.
Art
Oh, there's
style.
also canon as well.
What the fuck is the plot of the show?
I don't even know.
I think it's some kind of magical girl show from the
Yeah.
looks of it.
it looks like a magical girl show.
13-year-old Kari Hanazono feels like her life can't get any worse. Parents died when she was young. Jesus.
That was not how I thought the show was.
Yeah. Leaving her with an aunt who doesn't hesitate to call her stupid unless and useless over her poor grades. God damn. Her only friend, her cat named Shi-chan, passed away recently. Oh my god!
Bro, she can't catch a break.
Begins her moment her life turns around for the better when she is approached by a girl who also has lost her parents and her cousin who finds girls to be troublesome, both of them searching for a goddess. Her mother's memento ring shines brightly in their presence and fills her with its radiance, making her smarter, faster, and capable of granting wishes. Okay, so it's like a mega depressing magical girl spin, I guess.
God damn.
So why does Sydney like?
I don't know. She
So what the fuck?
well, so that
that
leads
doesn't explain why she likes
so
it.
that leads into Evangelion, right? No, but
Well, Evangelion is how you guys met, right?
Evangelion is how we met, but also she actually watched it because I showed it to her, and it really, really fucking connected with her.
I mean, it's a
you know.
legendary show for a reason.
Yeah. So I would say Kamichiwa Karen, I don't know. Like I've talked to her a lot about Kamichao Karen. She just holds it close to her heart.
This must be like that one nostalgic, guilty pleasure show that you grew up with. Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know it's not
exactly.
the best, but you have a special place
True.
with it,
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
which
Well,
is fair.
All right,
well,
Alright,
very
cool.
fun list either way.
very fun.
Well, now I know next time I see Sydney, I'm going to talk to her about
So
Burger.
we have
Yeah.
Kaho or Shindo L.
Okay,
Okay.
let's see.
Uh,
Okay, so here's the second to last one that we have.
I'm pretty confident.
Wow.
I'm pretty confident.
I think I am also confident. No, actually, fuck. This could be either Kaho or Shindo. Oh,
Actually,
shit.
you're right. You're right.
Kaho or Shindo could say. It's like a mixture of what I think the two of them will like.
Macross Frontier.
So we have Digimon Adventures. We have Isekai Quartet. We have some show I've never seen. Vampire Dies in Nose Time, which is quite a recent one, if I'm not mistaken. Neon Genesis Evangelion, Akibi Sailor Uniform, Madoka Magica. Oh, what is that middle one at the bottom there? I've seen that before. And
Isn't her circumstances?
Oh yes, you're right. And Macross Frontier.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think no.
Actually, it's
I'm
literally. I was confident, and then I looked at some of them, and I'm like, wait.
I'm leaning more towards Shindo, but some of these choices is also Kaho.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
I'm gonna say Shindo.
I think it's Kaho.
I think it's Kaho.
Really?
I
Kaho's
remember-
brought up to me Macross more than anyone else
Yeah,
ever in my life.
really?
Kaho has brought up Macross in the first podcast that we recorded.
Right.
I remember.
She loves Macross. I know
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
believe I remember talking to her about Digimon as
She
well.
does like Digimon too.
Yeah,
She does
yeah.
bring up Digimon a lot.
Otherwise, I would have been like, oh, this is Shindowell.
Right. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Who is it?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
fuck.
thank God.
All right.
Okay,
Wow.
so-
this is such an interesting. What is that top right one?
Medie?
Nudie, it says.
Oh, Nudie. Sorry. I don't think it's me. Oh, God. Katakana.
It looks like maybe
Yeah.
80s, early 90s, maybe.
Yeah, so Kaho has watched an ungodly amount of anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't fully appreciate this when we first had Kaho on, when she started bringing up fake weebs. And I was like, I thought she just meant like some people who watch like 2 anime.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think she means like 90% of people who watch anime. Because Kaho has watched so much anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her knowledge of it is very impressive. So this looks like a very varied list.
Very varied.
And I wonder why. I've always wondered why Kaho likes Digimon so much. She actually did give me reasonings though.
Oh, she did?
She did, yeah.
It's because it's the superior Pokemon.
How fucking dare
Okay,
you.
well, is there one you'd like to know about first? I can.
What is the top right one? What is that?
The top right one. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
good question. Okay, let me scroll up. Okay, here we go. I have the list.
Yeah.
It is. Is it?
I've never seen it before. It looks like a shoujo.
Akibi-chan's Sailor Uniform.
No, that's a different
No,
one.
no, that's the one on the middle
Okay,
right.
Akazukin Cha-cha.
Akazuki Cha-cha.
I've seen this around, but I have no. Is this like a really
shoujo. This is shoujo.
OG shoujo
Yeah.
anime?
I mean,
Capturing-
look at that second picture there. That is OG shoujo manga. Color
Yeah.
as fuck.
Kaho says, capturing the mesmerizingly cute art from anime, the show manages to hold both Seiso vibe and Yuri fan service. It's a gem.
Wow. Seiso and Yuri.
There's Seiso. Wow.
Wow. Okay. I've never seen it or heard of it, but
This is OG.
it's
Yeah.
very. When did it come out? Can you
This
go to
must
Wikipedia?
This must have been pretty old.
Kaho has also mentioned to me.
1994.
Yeah, Kaz mentioned to me in the past that she really likes a lot of OVAs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the 90s was the fucking
Peak OVA.
peak OVA.
I mean, I do kind of miss the OVA era of anime just because you had so many interesting and different fucking ideas that didn't always appeal to the mainstream masses,
yeah.
but they would be able to be made just because it was like a 3-episode OVA.
We'll never
Yeah.
get like another Genocyber or like Violence Jack or any of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to Kao about it, and I was like, yeah, I really want to watch more 90s OVAs, because I can't remember, I was watching a show, like a random show from the 90s, and the show did not call for it at all, but randomly, like, just 5 minutes in, just titties, and like
Yep.
naked.
Yeah.
And like, it wasn't brought up in like a sexual way, it
Yeah.
was just titties, and then just moved on.
No,
And I was
no
like,
censor bar either.
Yeah.
it's just
nothing, and I
full
was like,
titties.
okay, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm really doing this.
If you want to see anime in its rawest form, then
And everything
just
was
watch a bunch of
weird.
90s
Everything was
OVAs.
weird.
Yeah, everything was weird. That's the point.
Yeah.
It didn't really matter about appealing to kind of like writing like a mainstream story. People
Yeah.
just had weird fucking
That's why,
ideas.
that's why it's so fascinating to go down that rabbit hole because you
It
just
is.
find some of the
And not-
wildest stories.
And not everything is a banger. Not everything is like the best written story, but you will have a very unique time.
Yeah.
You will see some very unique things. in
Totally.
that.
Yeah, it's been fun. I've been watching. What did I watch? This one called Key the Metal Idol. Have you heard of this one?
I have not.
It's fucking weird. It's basically like people who are trying to make robots that are that you can pilot via humans, but to pilot it, you need to take the like soul out of someone, and it's just this weird.
Huh.
It's so weird, and it's like 15 episode OVA, and it's like titties all the time.
Is this on Netflix?
No, it's just, I just found it. It looked weird, and I was like, I'll fucking watch
Yeah,
it.
all of these you just have to find online.
Yeah.
And it's like way too dark for no reason. And it's like, oh, I kind
Yeah,
of
checks
fuck
out,
with this.
checks
I
out.
fuck with this 90s stuff.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
you go through your metal phase of.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of having a fun time. It's fun just watching these random shows that are, I don't think they're good or bad. I just think they're weird.
They're just
Yeah.
fascinating.
And
yeah.
I've been trying to find shows that have no pre-existing manga, and this
Yeah.
show was all just original OVA.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's all
original
weird.
OVAs.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean, I think for me, Ava and Madoka Magica, Macross, and